ICCU.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
The Phoenix Suns are in a place we never thought they'd be at the beginning of October. The Phoenix Suns are in the postseason, thanks to their win last night over the Dallas
Rebound
Mavericks.
number 12 for man. Booker on the dribble hesitation, takes it right to the rack with the finish in the foul.
Bit of a hesitation on Powell. Watch, goes right here. Little stop. Powell gets him. A lot of body.
Here's the veteran. Powell get it. Coffey fighting for the loose ball rebound. Gillespie splits the two defenders. And Collin flags in. Booker stepping out on flag. The rookie with a spin. Met at the top. And Cooper flag. Turned back by his former Duke teammate. Brooks with Powell stepping out on him defensively. Dillon bounce pass. Booker relocates to his left. Boom!
How about that? A 43-36 record after 79 games, and your Phoenix Suns are in the postseason. I think we did I'd have to go back, and I didn't get a chance to go look for it today. I'll see if I can look for it through the show. But we did a question of the day. I think it was how many games they would win. I think the choices were like 25, 35, less than 25. And I think it was like somewhere around 25 or less than 25 was the number that most people thought at the beginning of this season is what we would get from this remodeled Suns team. I don't think anybody had 45, which they certainly have a chance to do with 2 games remaining, sitting on 44 wins at 44-36 right now. Nobody had that. I can guarantee you that in that question of the day we did back in October on this team. What a run it's been. What a run it's been. Again, and I don't know that there's nobody sitting in this room or sitting probably in this state that believes that this team is going to go deep into the postseason. Okay? It would be, I think we would be, if this team, I think there might be some disappointment if they don't get out of this play-in round and get into the real playoffs. I think we could say, yeah, there might be some disappointment with that part of it. Because again, I mean, this new in the old setup, you're in as the 7th seed. You're playing the number 2 seed. You're playing the Spurs at this point. Under this new setup, you got to kind of play your way into it. Now, the good thing about if they can hold on to they've clinched the 7th spot because they're 3 up now with 2 games to go because I think the Clippers lost last night. So the good thing is if you win that game, you're in. You don't have to win like 2 games. Like some of the lower level teams have to win twice to get in. The 7-10 game, if you win that game, then you're in. That's it. You are the 7th seed. So that'll be next Tuesday night here in the desert.
How it works is 9 plays 10, and then the winner plays 7.
Oh.
So
okay.
It's really weird how it works. Yeah. But it's also NCAA tournament Dragon Ball where, on one given night, if you have a bad shooting, if you're an outside shooting team and you have a bad night shooting, you go home for the rest of the year. That's if you're in the 10s position.
Yeah.
The 7 has to lose twice. So you have to lose twice if you're in that 7 spot like the Suns are now.
But they only have to win 1 game.
They only have to win the 1 game. Yeah.
To get in.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then they play for the rights for the 7th or 8th seed. As if it couldn't get more complicated than it is already.
Yeah, no, the way that this is all set up, it almost befits you that you have to win, though, in the 7 and 8 matchup because no one wants to take on the Thunder. No one wants to get that 8-1 matchup right now in the West. If you want to go up against the Spurs, you've got just as much difficulty with that in regards to matchups, but nonetheless, it's seemingly an easier matchup than dealing with the Thunder coming off of a championship. They've got that, and they, again, have almost everybody back, running it back now because everyone's healthy. The Spurs have a little bit of an injury concern going into the postseason, I'm sure, but in the end, you're the Suns. You just have to win one.
Just to make it really simple for listeners who might have been confused, the 10th and 9th place teams play each other.
Yep.
The loser is done for the year. The winner gets the right to play the loser of the 7-8 game. So 7 and 8 play, 9 and 10 play. Whoever wins the 7-8 matchup is in. They get the 7. The loser still has life. They get a chance by playing the 9-10 winner. So it's a two-game tournament for whoever loses between the 7 and 8, and a 2-game tournament for whoever wins between the 9 and 10. I might have overcomplicated it even more there, but that's how it works. Yeah.
In the end, though, the other thing about it, too, for the Suns is that you really only have to look at 2 teams right now. It's either between the Clippers or the Blazers. Those are the only 2 teams that can win the 8th seed in the West right now. So you get a chance to see which of those you have a better matchup with, since those 2 teams play against each other before the end of the season. So what they eventually will have to go up and do is, I believe that game is going to be tonight, and that game will effectively, I think, decide the final spot in that 8 matchup between the Suns. And forgive me, it's not going to be tonight. I believe it's tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, the Clippers currently have a 1-game advantage over the Blazers.
Yeah.
It's going to be tight.
Suns, Clippers, Blazers, and Warriors. That is how it works currently.
I watched the Blazers last night.
Did you? Did you see anything good?
I saw Carter Bryant have a career high in scoring because Wemby was out. I was looking to see maybe if Caleb was in, and then I went and checked his minutes lately, and the entire Portland Trail Blazers backcourt got healthy again. And we talked about that 2 months ago. The reason why Caleb Love was getting so much run, upwards of 25 to 35 minutes per game, is because they had 5 backcourt guys injured, including Scoot and Dame and everybody. So Thibault is on that team as well. He's been out for a long time. So apparently, I think Caleb only got 1 minute in a couple of games last. I didn't even see him last night, but man, did Carter Bryant have it going. I think he went 5 for 6 from 3. So that was fun to watch.
Carter Bryant having a strong finish to his rookie season, and obviously that is going to continue into the postseason. How many you think he'll get significant minutes? Will he play? Will he be a part of the rotation in the postseason? Do you think
it'll be situational? The way that obviously postseason matchups work is there's so many adjustments. So game 1, a team might have an advantage on the way that they're guarding a pick and roll and getting a lot of turnovers off of that. The other team makes adjustments. They start running, they start rejecting screens and things like that. So the adjustments that go along, and at some point, Carter Bryant is going to get his typical 6 to 8 minutes. That's what he's usually running right now off the bench. But in a game where it's a good matchup for Carter and he's got a good defensive assignment and the Spurs really like what he's doing out there, I would not be surprised to see Carter play 15 to 20 minutes in some playoff game this year, but that's not going to be the standard. It's just based on the matchups and how he's playing that particular night.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program if you want to call us and chat some NBA. Surprised that the Suns have gotten in. Did you think that was going to be the case when this season started?
Did we think, Dragon Ball, when the season started, that 5 of the teams in the West would not be trying to make the playoffs?
Did we think that there would be that much of a rampant injury bug going on with some of those teams in the West?
I mean, I think the Jazz have been tanking since day one.
Yes.
I think that the Grizzlies had an inkling to make the playoffs, and then the whole job, nonsense, on-court stuff.
They were selling immediately once all that stuff started going
tanking
down.
as well. The Kings, their season fell apart pretty early. I think the Mavericks have been trying to win. I think the Mavericks, if they had not traded AD
the sad part.
early in the season. Well, I mean, they had AD, right? And then he got injured. Now he's with the Wizards. But I think their intention was to put Cooper, and obviously with Kyrie Irving out for the year, that was never going to be a good team. And the Pelicans, I can't remember the last time I watched a Pelicans game.
No,
so I couldn't tell you. I don't even know what's
going
on in New Orleans.
And then again, with all the injury concerns that I was mentioning, you had a lot of them early on in the year for the Lakers, and then they kind of got healthy. Now they've gotten back to being injured. The Warriors have seemingly just run out of bodies at times.
Yeah, I mean,
it seems
with
like.
Jimmy Buckets got injured for the season. What was that, 2 months ago?
2 months ago, yeah.
And then Kuminga trade and all of that. And then obviously Steph's been out for a long time. The Clippers are the really fascinating one to me because the Clippers came into this year with Harden and, Claw and everybody else. expecting to be one of those top 5 seeds.
And then Beal got the hip injury, seemingly right out the gate.
They started, 7-22? Like, their start to the season was crazy. So the fact that they're above 500 right now is pretty amazing after those trades. But yeah, I like the way that the Suns, back to the Suns, DK, because that's what we're talking about here. I like the way the Suns are playing more recently, and now that Dillon Brooks is back in the lineup, I mean, that he's a big catalyst to what they're doing defensively. Gillespie's coming along. I mean, you're the real Suns fan among us, Dragon Ball. What's your take on the way that they've trying to finish out this season under Ott's leadership?
Well, they're trying to finish the season out with a little bit more consistency and a lot more camaraderie. The problem is, now we have to wonder if that's going to be an issue again moving forward in the last couple games of the season, because Jalen Green had to leave last game with a knee injury, and he did not come back pretty early in that contest. And there's also still concerns about Grayson Allen and then all these other injuries that are still kind of nagging the team right now. So overall, it's been nice to see them at least try to get back a little bit of that swagger, but yeah, I gotta look to see where the injury concerns are going into the final 2-3 games of the season, because Mark Williams, I'm pretty sure, is still listed day-to-day. Jalen Green, like I said, he exited Wednesday's game with a knee injury, did not come back. And I think Grayson Allen was ruled out prior to the Mavericks game because he still has a quadriceps injury. So they got to get the rest of that health problem fixed out. And naturally, as we were just saying, it's 1-1. You need to win one of these next 2 games in order to get yourself in the playoffs. And that's not a lot of time to get healthy for one of those 2 victories.
Last night, a little bit of a surprise in that Kaman Malowich started for the Suns in that game, played 30 minutes in the contest, and did this on his former Duke teammate, Cooper Flagg.
Cooper stepping out on Flagg, the rookie with a spin, met at the top, and Cooper Flagg turned back by his former Duke teammate. Watch against his former Duke teammate.
Yeah, Cooper Flagg up high, but Malowich says no way. I mean, just the timing on it, too, with the 2 hands.
Only 4 points on 2 of 5 shooting, but 14 rebounds in 30 minutes to go along with 3 blocked shots by Kaman Malowich.
When was the last time / has there ever been a successful 19-year-old center in the NBA?
You got to go back to May. Nah, you can't even say.
Because look, Tim Duncan, a power forward, but Tim Duncan was a senior. David Robinson spent 2 years in the Navy. I mean, Shaq was a junior when he came out. Like, all those guys we think of who came in and just kind of dominated that position. Joker was not the Joker we know today his first few years. So, yeah, Kaman Malowich is going to be a very, very good. He's the ideal center, I think, as you talk about. You need rim protection. You need guys who can be lob threats. If he works on that little 10 to 15-foot jump shot. But again, he's really raw and very young. So anybody who expects him to come in and be a scorer at this level right now, but defender. I mean, he can always, that's what he was known for in his time before he got to Duke and being with the Blue Devils. So if he can come in and with Mark Williams being out, like Dragon Ball just said, spelling that at the center position, that's a real perimeter-oriented team. DK, did you know that the Suns are one of 6 teams in the NBA that averages 40 3-point attempts per game?
43s.
40 averages.
Wow.
Averages.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Well,
Kaman Malowich.
35 last night.
Yeah, Kaman Malowich just needs to get in there and do some spot minutes and play some defense and just keep doing what the coaches tell him to do.
Yeah, no one's going to mistake Kaman Malowich as being a Dwight Howard coming out at the age of 18, 19 and dominating the boards and doing all that. No one's going to mistake that for what Malowich can do. But 12 rebounds, you get a little bit of size, especially for a team that has really, in essence, played undersized the last couple of weeks because of the Mark Williams injury. You had to go to Oso Ighodaro as a starting center.
I like Oso a lot.
Yeah, he's really good. I think
he's not a center, though.
Yeah, he's a perfect power forward for the way that system works. He's got the athleticism. He's got the ability
real bouncy, yeah.
He's able to run out in front of the break to make sure that you have an extra body to clear out space for a 3-point shooter. He's got that in his bag, but a center is just asking him to do a little bit too much at that frame. So if you can get a Malowich to do that for at least 18 minutes a game, about 12, 11 rebounds, solid. That's all you need out of that guy to go ahead and have yourself a successful run in the postseason.
First start in the NBA for Kaman Malowich, and again, he played 30 minutes. Devin Booker on what he thought of the young rook.
Yeah, I'm sure, they'll be having some friendly banter about that for years to come. But, Kaman stayed the course the entire year and, just waited for his opportunity and thrived in it tonight. So, I'm super proud of him. I think this is a starting point for him that, we'll look down years down the line and be like, we knew that kid had it from the beginning.
Devin, you touched on Kaman's preparation that he's been going through to stay ready for this moment, but when his past 3 games, he hasn't played more than 3 minutes, and then he plays 30 tonight and has that kind of impact in the fourth quarter. What does that say just about the work he's been doing behind the scenes and then the maturity to stay ready for this moment?
Yeah, everything comes to the light. We obviously behind the scenes have been seeing it. We've been seeing it since training camp. He has the right head on his shoulders, and, I've been saying his willingness to learn the right questions that he asks, and then, just his vocal communication throughout the whole season when he's been in the rotation, when he's not. He's one of the loudest on the team, and, with him being the anchor of our defense, which you've seen tonight, that's super valuable.
All right, so Devin Booker, big night again as well for the Suns as they have clinched a spot in the play-in round and will have a chance to be in the postseason. We'll dive more into that as we move along here today, 520-848-1290. We're going to talk a lot of NASCAR today because NASCAR is coming to Tucson for the weekend. The ARCA Menards Series, that's the old K&N West Series. If you were not familiar, you heard ARCA Menards. What is that? Is that a new series? It's not a new series. It's just the old West Coast Series that's been running out here since the 1950s, just with as always, a new spanky sponsorship name on it. But we're going to talk to a few people today. Mark Crystal's going to join us. He covers the series for Front Stretch. And then we're going to chat with the driver in the 4 o'clock hour. Mason Massey is going to join us. Mason Massey is going to join us. Am I saying that correctly? Mason Massey, I think so. He's going to join us on the show in the 4 o'clock hour. So if you're headed out to Tucson Speedway this weekend, we've got the place to get you set for NASCAR weekend here in Tucson. 520-848-1290. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5. She's got your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collision Country Club in Irvington and Country Club. North of that collision reported there is a closure for road work. Country Club Road closed under I-10 and some slowdowns due to road work at Palo Verde and Irvington. 62 the overnight low, partly cloudy, 90 tomorrow. There's a slight chance of rain this weekend. 92 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. At some point, body pain may creep in and become your reality that day. But Aleve is here to keep you moving. One pill gives you up to 12 hours of body pain relief. So don't let pain hold you back. Try Aleve today. Use as directed.
With Bet365 Early Payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's DK on the Sports Tip. Did you hear what we were talking about? The kids who actually have the money to go out there and play tennis. Why haven't we produced any of them? DK on the Sports Tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today.
So hot. Hi, can I help you?
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Goodfellasac.com.
Hey, that was our exit. We're gonna miss the first pitch.
Just gotta make a stop at Fry's. I promised I'd bring nachos.
Nice. You have the Upside app too, right?
Upside? What's that?
Upside is a free app that gets you cash back when you buy groceries. And they just added Fry's stores in the Tucson Sierra Vista area.
Wait, I can get money back just for buying groceries?
Yep. And right now you can get an extra $10 bonus on your first Fry's trip with the app. That's up to $25 cash back on one grocery run.
Even this Fry's store right here?
Yes. Now pull over. Let's get some cash back on those nachos.
Upside is now available for Fry's stores in the Tucson Sierra Vista area. Download the free Upside app and use promo code AZ3 to get a $10 bonus on your first purchase at Fry's. That's promo code AZ3 to get a $10 bonus. Remember, use promo code AZ3.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez at Meridian Wealth Management. And one of the hardest things I witness is when someone passes and they hadn't updated their beneficiaries properly beforehand. We all experience change in our lives, marriage, divorce, kids, and we work very hard for what we have. Leaving your legacy exactly the way you desire is important. This is your reminder to review all of your beneficiary designations today and at least annually. Seek guidance if you need it. Call our office at 520-719-1433 for more information.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Hey, it's DK on the Sports Tip. Don't miss a minute of the best Arizona Wildcats coverage in town. Tell your Alexa device to play Wildcats Radio 1290. This is your home of Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Clicks don't show the full picture, but Cumulus Digital does. We show you exactly who saw your ad by name and address, and our campaigns beat industry benchmarks by over 25%. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to start outperforming.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, again, it's NASCAR weekend here in Southern Arizona. ARCA Menards Series is back in town. Again, that is the old K&N West Pro Series that competed here for a number of consecutive years in the 2010s, and then they went away and then came back last year. So good to have the top series in the West back here in Southern Arizona. Let's talk some ARCA Menards and get to know what's happening on the series this year. Pleased to be joined by Mark Crystal. He is with Front Stretch website, covers all things racing on the NASCAR side. Mark, appreciate you joining us on this Thursday as we get set for racing out here in Southern Arizona this weekend. First of all, let's just get an update on the ARCA Menards series. There's it's ARCA Menards. Is it on both sides? Like the East Series is also ARCA Menards. Is that correct?
Yeah. So you have three divisions of ARCA. You have the ARCA Menards Series, which is the national division that's competed for a number of years. Butterbean Queen won the championship last year. Then you have the ARCA Menards Series East, which runs 8 races, primarily on the East Coast, and then obviously the West out by you all.
There you go. And the West Series is actually going to be here in Arizona on 3 occasions. They've already run one race up in Phoenix, the race here in Tucson coming up this weekend, and then they'll run another race up in Phoenix towards the end of the year. A lot of short tracks involved on this side of the coin as well. And again, this is an interesting series because we've always talked about this when they've come here before. This is kind of like minor league racing. These are drivers that are trying to get to the Cup Series and have an opportunity to drive at that level. Mark, I've always been interested just to kind of, when we interview folks that are involved in racing, how easy or versus how hard is it to get from this level of racing to the Cup Series? Because you look at some of the folks that have been in that have won the points series in here, and you look at, you have to go all the way back to when Kevin Harvick won it in 1998 to find a recognizable driver that actually got and had a whole lot of success in the Cup Series.
Yeah, so it's like any sport, whether it's I'm a huge baseball fan. How many of your favorite high school players or college players that you watched made it to the pros, or for college football? How many great players
Not many.
How many great players for the Arizona Wildcats were successful in the pros? It's not as many as you would like to think. I mean, it takes a lot of hard work. Like you said, these are the minor leaguers. I like to tell a lot of friends and family that in some ways this is kind of the class A of racing, using a baseball analogy. But we have seen drivers on the West make it up into the levels. Jesse Love is a driver. He's made some cup starts. He's the reigning O'Reilly Series champion. He's won there twice, and he really got his start running out west before he joined Venturini Motorsports and then Virgin Childress Racing and became the champion that you saw last year in Phoenix.
We're chatting with Mark Crystal. He is with Front Stretch. It is the ARCA Menards West Series coming up in Tucson this weekend. Mark, we're going to chat a little bit later in the show with Mason Massey. What type of driver? What can you tell us about him in terms of his ability and what potentially he could, or how good he can be on this tour moving forward?
As he showed in the season opener out at Kern Raceway in California, he's arguably the favorite to win the title. He won the opening race in, if I recall, dominant fashion. He leads the points, and the most recent race was a combination race with the national division. So leading the points after that, that's a good milestone, because there could have been a lot of points gained and or lost that race weekend. And he's driving for Bill McAnally, the most successful team owner in West Series history. And he's got plenty of experience in different NASCAR series. So even though he hasn't been to Tucson in an ARCA car before, you have to think his experience as a race car driver will translate well to the race at Tucson, even if it is different car, different field, and those types of things.
One of the drivers we've seen here before was Haley Deegan back in the day, and she's back racing again in this particular series. Only female, I believe, is whoever won on this particular series. What's her future? She kind of got away, went into some other series. Is she, I mean, I know she's driven, I think, in the truck series as well as some other series. Where's she at right now, potentially, in her development?
I don't want to say it's a make it or break it year, because NASCAR and racing is the one sport where if you have funding behind you, you can continue your career even if the results aren't on track, aren't as outstanding as fans, media, teams, etc. make them out to be. But at the same token, she ran full-time ARCA in 2020, or she didn't. I believe she finished third or fourth in the points. Well, she didn't. That's obviously a solid finish. But she didn't really contend for victories regularly. And then she tried in trucks and O'Reilly series. And one search of YouTube, and I'm sure you can find reasons why she is no longer competing in those series today. And so now she's back with Bill McAnally Racing as a teammate to Mason Massey. And she had success in the West when she raced for that team before. So I really feel like if she is going to prove to us doubters that she still has a career as a successful race car driver ahead of her, she's got to perform well this year. Otherwise, the question becomes, does she have a ride because of funding, or does she have a ride because of talent?
Mark Crystal from Front Stretch is our guest. You mentioned something there, Mark, and I want to kind of touch on it because it's something we routinely hear in terms of racing. It's like one thing that can separate drivers is if you've got, like you said, if you've got funding, if you've got a good car. How much of it is that to get to the next level? How much of it is your actual ability to drive the car? How would you describe the difference between what it takes to get to that next level? I mean, could somebody that just has so much money but an average driver compete and make it to the Cup Series, or what's the separator there in terms of actually being able to be a good driver in your mind?
I think right now with the charter system and the way that NASCAR has the point system, be it the chase format this year or the winning you're in elimination style that we saw the past few years prior, that the Cup Series drivers there are there because of talent. Obviously, if they have funding behind them, that makes it much easier for team owner. But if you look at, I believe Connor Zilic is 33rd in points, and you might say, well, he's a rookie and he's not doing well. And that's true. But he still has that ride because he last year had an unbelievably phenomenal year in the O'Reilly Series, proving that he deserves a shot in the Cup Series. The same could be said about any number of drivers that while they might struggle or they might not be as successful as they once were, such as Kyle Busch, there's no doubt in the world that Kyle Busch is still an incredible talent that drivers in the O'Reilly Series, Truck Series, ARCA, whatever racing series it may be, that they don't have that talent. When you get to your O'Reilly Series and Truck Series, then it varies per team on how much the team is seeking funding versus seeking a talented driver. Someone like Jesse Love, Richard Childress Racing, already had Whelen sponsorship in place for Love when he took that ride. But then you look at somebody like Austin Hill, who brings sponsorship, and yet Hill's made the playoffs the past several years, where you can bring all the money in the world, but at the end of the day, it still takes talent to be able to take that race car from start to finish and park it in victory lane.
And let me ask you this question, because obviously one of the drivers I follow is Bubba Wallace. Is Bubba Wallace a better driver now than he was in 2018-19? How is he a better driver? Does he just have more money and a better car now than he did when he first got going?
I think for Bubba Wallace, it's a combination of things. It's a better car because of the funding, like you said. Let's face it, Michael Jordan is a billionaire, and if I had his money, I would be spending money to make sure my race team was as successful as possible. I think many people would say the same. And Bubba has Tyler Reddick as a teammate, and Reddick, he won the Daytona 500. He won the first 3 races this year. Having that teammate to be able to share knowledge and converse with, that can make a huge difference, in my opinion. That if your teammate, not just is a good teammate, but if your teammate is successful, just something they might say, you might not fully understand what they say because your car might not be able to react the same, but just something that you see or learn from them and how they're making their pit stop, whether it would be coming in slower or just the little things. I think that has made a difference for Bubba. And then I think when you look at it, just stability. He's got the ride. He's got the sponsorship to make sure that it's like anybody. When your job is on the line, you think differently. And just maturity. I'm sure, imagine when you were your first year on the radio or your first year in any job, you are nowhere near as good as you are when you have 5, 10, 15, et cetera, years in the business.
Right. Mark, what's the latest on our guy, Alex Bowman, who's obviously been dealing with vertigo and has missed a number of races?
He is returning at Bristol Motor Speedway, which is phenomenal to hear. You never want to hear of a driver or any athlete, for that matter, have their career or their season affected due to injury. So the fact that he is healthy, first of all, I am so glad that he is healthy, just from a health standpoint. As far as getting back behind the race car, we'll see. Bristol last year in the fall, he had the opportunity to advance in the playoffs and just didn't. And he was the first one to admit that they just didn't deliver the performance that was needed. But how many championships does Hendrick Motorsports have? How successful that organization has been, where he's getting back in the car, and I don't know that we would say he's going to be contending for the victory right away, But at the same token, running subpar right out of the gate, that certainly is not something that is the Hendrick standard or maybe even the expectations. I'm sure their expectations for him at Bristol will be lowered simply because he's been out of the race car and you want to make sure that he physically is okay. But at the same token, he knows the next gen. It's the same team for him, the 48 team. He's got the same teammates at Hendrick Motorsports. What's to say he can't go out in a couple races, for example, and get himself back to that contending status that he's been able to do throughout his career?
Mark, one more before we let you go. I don't know do you know much about Quinn Davis? Young lady grew up here in Tucson, began her career racing out at the Speedway here. She's going to be back as a part of this weekend, I think, driving in a substitute vehicle out here. What have you heard about her? How good is she? What's her upside?
I know her team on the ARCA Menard Series E, City Garage Motorsports, they think incredibly highly of her. Last year, she ran for some underfunded teams and did quite well. Obviously, she didn't win the race, but she still exceeded expectations. And while her first two races this year on the east side, the results, if you were just looking straight at the statistic, the result, you would say, well, that's not good. But circumstances outside of her fate. In the first race, there was a mechanical woe that cost her 10-plus laps, and in the second race, I believe, a piece of debris caused a blown tire and did some damage to some mechanical parts of the race car as well. But her team thinks very highly of her. She's been very marketable, which is always good for potential drivers as they're trying to move up the ranks, right? You want the fans to be able to connect with you and know you. You want people in the industry to know who you are. Heck, you want sponsors to know who you are. And the race car, to my knowledge, the race car she will be driving at Tucson, I wouldn't say it'll be a contending car for a victory, but at the same token, with 18 race cars in the field, I think she could get a top 10. She's exceeded expectations. It's probably a mid-pack car, and it's 150 laps on a 3A bull ring. So chaos can happen. The laps will come off quick. And with tire conservation, if you want to run fast in the first 50 laps of the race, by all means, please go ahead. But know that in the last 75 laps or so, your tires are not going to be as happy with you, and you're not going to be contending for that victory.
His name is Mark Crystal, frontstretch.com. That's the place to go for all information about racing. They cover NASCAR, they cover F1, you guys cover Indy too, I believe, correct?
IndyCar, ARCA, yep.
Everything. All you need to know about racing, frontstretch.com. Mark, hey, appreciate you stopping by and getting us up to speed on what to expect this weekend here in Tucson.
Yeah, should be a good race. 150 laps, 3A bull ring. Think we're going to see some bent sheet metal?
There we go. We usually do out at Tucson Speedway. We usually do. Mark, we'll check in with you again down the line. Thanks so much.
Hey, thanks for having me, and let's have a good race in Tucson.
There we go. Mark Crystal from Front Stretch. ARCA Menards West Series back in town this weekend. We're going to talk to one of the drivers coming up, Mason Massey. This is Saturday night out at Tucson Speedway. I'll tell you a little bit more about that coming up. Cricket right now getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. With collisions reported crash in Sahuarita, Duval Mine Road, and I-19 reported on Duval Mine Road at I-19. Crash at 6th and Irvington and 6th Avenue, and a wreck Midtown at Speedway and Swan and Speedway slowing at the intersection. Collision on I-10 near State Route 90 reported on the eastbound side of I-10 east of State Route 90. 62 the low, partly cloudy, and 90 tomorrow. Slight chance of rain this weekend, 92 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Brake Masters.
You're close to your journey's end. You're winning half the battle, and then it happens. A rattle. You got this. Just head on over to any Brake Masters stop sign. Download coupons and schedule an appointment from your smartphone.
Break Masters. We give you an honest break.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about?
A Cinco de Mayo party tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Maybe I'll see if I can get somebody to come in and maybe do some mixology. And
it's just sweet and sour that we're drinking on air, right? Like there's no actual adult cocktails in there.
Whatever.
Mocktails.
Exactly.
Insert big wink, nudge, nudge.
DK on the sports tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself. And Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put member success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Spring is here and we've already experienced hot weather. Is your air conditioner ready for the long hot summer? For the month of April, Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing will be offering a $99 home wellness plan for all new customers. This includes your spring maintenance, fall maintenance, and any plumbing maintenance. Call now, 520-492-0748, or make your appointment online at picturerockschooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
The Pima County Fair is back, April 16th through the 26th at the Pima County Fairgrounds, with food, fun, games, and the craziest new carnival rides. Try deep fried nachos, strap in and take a ride on one of over 50 carnival rides, and win prizes with games, plus daily entertainment, concerts, and more at the Pima County Fair, 11300 South Houghton Road, April 16th through the 26th. Get all the details about the Pima County Fair at wildcatsradio1290.com. The Horseshoe Grill proudly serves the best mesquite grilled steaks, ribs, smoked brisket, and more in Tucson, period. Now open 7 days a week for both lunch and dinner. We invite you to stop by and check out our daily specials and a fun twist of what you used to know. With a full bar and happy hour from 3 to 6 p.m. where you can watch the biggest games on large screen TVs while enjoying some great food and appetizers in a funky, industrial chic atmosphere. Don't miss out on Taco Tuesdays or catering for your next event with an incredible variety of slow smoked mesquite meats, including brisket and pulled pork, to name a few. Located in the Broadway Plaza at the corner of Broadway and Pantano, 838-0404 or horseshoegrill.com. Don't let another sunset before you visit the Horseshoe Grill.
And this Friday, the Horseshoe Grill is offering you a sweet deal. You can purchase a $50 gift certificate for only $25. That's $50 worth of mouth-watering mesquite smoked barbecue for just $25. And this sweet deal will be available Friday morning at 8:30 at wildcatsradio1290.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Presented by Chumba Casino, your online casino for plays, spins, and a chance to score. Must be 21 and over. Terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Nikola Jokic recorded his 34th triple-double. Jokic will fall short of the MVP this year. Better storylines and better teams will swing the vote. Jokic might not be the MVP this year, but he's an all-time great, no doubt. I'm Chris Black.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger, to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
America, look around. Everywhere you go, prices are still high, rates have been whipsawing markets, and the debt and spending don't exactly scream stability. Experts say diversifying with intention is the #1 secret account that all American smart money uses to hedge against instability. Monetary Gold has been around since 2000, witnessing multiple economic setbacks. If you call now, Monetary Gold will cover up to a lifetime of your IRA fees on qualified accounts. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, NASCAR back in Tucson this weekend. The ARCA Menards West Series. That's NASCAR's West Regional Series. So, again, this series has run here off and on since about 1993. 93, 94, 95, 96, all the way through 99. Then no race in 2000, 2001. Then they went on hiatus for 13 years, came back in 15, ran 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Obviously had to cancel the race during COVID, and it did not come back until last year. So this will be the second consecutive year back for the series here in Southern Arizona. Tanner Reif won last year's race, and he has since moved on to a different series called the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 series. Have you heard of that one, Dragon Ball?
No. There's a lot of different levels about NASCAR that I only know about because of the NASCAR games I played on my original Xbox, Chase for the Cup. That's the only ones I know.
I have
which
never
the truck
heard of that
series
one.
is about as far as I got before I realized I'm just not a good driver.
See, you didn't have the right equipment. No, so you didn't have the right equipment, and you weren't a good driver.
No. The equipment was fine. I put in a lot of cheat codes to get the money for that equipment. I was just a bad driver in those games, and I was very, very content to say I'll be a defensive driver when I go to my my driver's learning course. And luckily, I passed that and got my. It's not the license you get first; it's the learner's permit or something. I definitely got that because I learned my lesson from NASCAR Chase for the Cup.
All right, so the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 series is listed as a high-performance, cost-controlled racing series under the Trans Am series presented by Pirelli and features cars like Challengers, Camaros, and Mustangs. There you go. I guess that's, I would imagine that's an American-based series that runs probably somewhere down in the South or so. So good luck to Tanner as he moves on to his race there. We were talking to Mark there about Quinn Davis, young lady who her family used to live out here in Southern Arizona. She started racing as a youngster, racing the Bandoleros, which if you've ever been to Tucson Speedway, the Bandoleros are the little bitty cars that the kids race. She started racing those out at Tucson Speedway when she was growing up, and now she's competing mostly, as you heard. I think the family now lives in Tennessee in the ARCA Menards East Series, but will have a chance to drive out in this West event here in as a replacement driver.
That could have been me.
Driving cars? Was you racing cars?
So my dad was on the Sebring medical crew for like 10 years. So he was on the internal oval at Sebring, and when I was a kid, he had a bunch of racing buddies, and he always talked about getting me a cart, building me a cart from scratch and all that, and my mom was like, no. That was when I was like 6 or 7 or 8, I think. My dad wanted to get me started pretty quick. Video games at the time did not have any kind of realistic, real world visuals. So yeah, I wasn't able to do that back in the 80s. But yeah, almost was a cart. Almost was one of those Bandoleros drivers.
You would be surprised about how advanced that is now with how certain rigs and setups some of these folks.
Yeah, there's this one guy on YouTube, and he has this completely custom thing. It's like $150,000 he's put into it, but he custom creates because he's a machinist, so he's created the entire thing itself. but it's pretty much about as real world as humanly possible, down to like when the tires get a little bit loose. It affects the gravity of his rig and how it moves him around. But it's amazing what people are able to do these days.
It's almost to the point where it's like flight simulator for like pilots going to school levels of like advanced.
Yeah, and I mean, for about 20 years now, it's not a new thing, but for about 15, 20 years now, professional racers will get in a lot of, simulators. And because knowing those turns, especially when you're talking Formula One, like, turning left a bunch of times is one thing, but when you've got a lot of really tight, specific turns that are taken at a very specific speed, there's a lot of newer technologies that have gone into those guys getting prepped for those corners, those races, and memorizing those tracks. Although Dragon Ball memorized them all when he was 12.
If you are headed out to see the ARCA West race this weekend at the Speedway, I want to hear from you. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. It will be a full night of racing, so not the ARCA West series. You've got the Thunder Trucks that'll be out there, the Hornets, and the mini stocks, along with the big boys from the ARCA series. So head on out. Doors will open at 5:30 on Saturday, and of course, I'm sure they'll have qualifying out there. And we'd had more of a longer show tomorrow. I was going to take the show over there for some of the qualifying, but we're only going to be on the air an hour tomorrow because the Wildcats are in the Central Time Zone playing an early game. Oh, well, not an early game, but in a early for us game against TCU.
Like the whole mental image thing, like somebody say something, you just get a picture in your mind.
Yeah.
Like, what is it called when you get a sound in your mind? Like, when you just said that, I got the sound of, like, qualifying in the background of the afternoon show, and the sound of, like, the sound of a raceway is so unique.
Yes.
Like, I can't say I've been to a million races, but I did go to the Indy 500 and places like, I've been to some races.
I did not get to see the Speedway this past weekend.
Yeah, that sound is just, it sticks with you.
Yeah. And I would say that depending on how close you would try to get to the track, you would definitely need a couple sets of weights for the table and stuff like that, because the reverb would definitely make everything start to shake depending how close you were to the road. Because I felt that one is the thing that feels for me is like, I remember seeing feeling the vibration of the seat the minute you get that first big turn coming back over on your side of the archway there.
There'll be a number of female drivers. We mentioned Haley Deegan in our conversation with Mark. It sounds like something like there was some nefarious stuff that went on in some of those other series that she was racing in. I don't know the full story of that. We'll have to maybe dive into that. But
he said, if you go to YouTube, you can figure it out.
I was like, okay, that doesn't sound too good.
Yeah,
right
I'm not about to like say anything live on the radio, but y'all can go research it and you'll figure out what she did.
She finished 6th in the opening race at Kern Raceway. That is, I've said often, one of the first race car driver I ever interviewed was this 14-year-old race car driver who was coming up in the 90s. Big time a youngster on the go-kart circus in Central California. And he turned out to be pretty good. His name was Kevin Harvick. He was 14 going to North High School in Bakersfield at the time that I interviewed him. And like 5 or 6 years later, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's that kid. He's pretty good now. Again, but that you look at the board and he's the only points champion out of the West in the last 35 years who's actually won a cup race. So it just goes to show you how hard of a business this is. Even these folks that are driving here this weekend, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a chance. Like any other sport, it's like Mark said, like any other sport, doesn't mean you're going to get a shot to drive on the cup circuit at some point or even have a chance to win a cup race. There are 18 teams expected here this weekend. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Again, that's going to be Saturday. Practice, they are going to have practice at 2 p.m. on Saturday. And then they'll have qualifying starts at 5. And so doors open at 5. That's right when qualifying starts. There'll be an autograph session. The meet and greet is always 5:45 to 6:15. And then everything gets going at 7 o'clock on Saturday night. We'll talk to Mason Massey coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. He is also one of the drivers. He won the first race of the year, and we'll find out his thoughts on the year and racing here in Tucson. Right now, Dragon Ball is here with everything happening in sports in Southern Arizona. as well as sports around the world.
Well, the preparations for Arizona football spring ball continues this week. The team continues with their practices and meetings ahead of the late April contest. Now, with that, many of the team's coaches and players have begun discussing the outlooks of their units. And today, Whiteout Room when Bobby Wade and company were out there talking, and the coach talked about this year how the team looked to add some speed to their equation.
Very important, probably because the guys that we lost with, Javon Wally and then Luke Wysong, Chris Hudson, they were all, fast guys that can run. So being able to try to find a way to, get other guys in here that can help in that space. We really do believe in the guys that we've already had in the room. Obviously, the retention was very important to get the guys back that we have now, and then to add those other few pieces were really big for us. I'm really happy with their progression. There's a lot of learning happening right now, a lot of lessons that are taking place, but there's no doubt in my mind that they'll give us an opportunity this year to be good.
Again, the Spring Showcase will be on April 25th, and it's free to attend at Casino del Sol Stadium, so be sure to go ahead and plan your calendars around that. And it was an rather, in my opinion, uninspiring victory, but the Suns managed to get the win they needed against the Mavericks to officially lock themselves into the top spot of the play-in tournament as the 7th seed with just a couple more days left to go in the regular season. Now it comes down to a matter of who the Suns will face in that automatic bid and the playoffs proper. That will be between Portland and the Clippers. Again, both of whom will face off on Friday to determine who is settled in at the 8th seed. And interestingly enough, the Justice Department has apparently begun an investigation into the NFL as to whether or not the league has violated anti-competitive practices with its television contracts to require consumers to pay subscription costs to watch games. An official said that this is about affordability and creating an even playing field for providers, but the quote, nature and scope of the investigation is unknown at the time. The NFL does have an antitrust exemption through the Sports Broadcast Act of 1961, which only applies to broadcast television. The courts have ruled that in the past that it does not apply to other media, including streaming or satellite. I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Touchdown, Arizona!
With press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play, we bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. With collisions reported Wilmot and Speedway and impacting northbound Wilmot at Speedway Boulevard. Tangerine at I-10, that was a hit and run with some westbound slowing on Tangerine approaching I-10. Sahuarita, Duval Mine Road at I-19 and other collisions. 6th Avenue in Irvington. Wreck at Speedway in Swan with southbound, eastbound, and really heavy westbound backups on Speedway at Swan. 62, the overnight low, partly cloudy, 90 tomorrow and 92 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
Around Tucson, you've probably seen Cruz on the road across our community. Because Cruz isn't just another law firm, we care about this community. And when one of our own is injured in an accident, we can help. Call 520-567-8000. Cruz & Associates, a firm you know, help you can trust.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Springfest is back at Lowe's. Shop select bags of decorative rock, 2 for $12, and select 1-pint annuals for $2. Valid through 4/22. While supplies last, selection varies by location.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Bradley down into the lane, lay it up and good.
I take great comfort knowing that he's our point guard, and and I have great confidence that he's one of the best players in the country.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
As a social influencer, my days can be busy. 4 a.m., I hit the gym. 4:32, protein smoothie. 5:08, save time and money bundling my home and auto insurance with Progressive. Wait, if I bundle and save time, what would I do then? Just sit here and reflect? Like, why am I qualified to influence anyone? And how those weights are hollow? And half of my followers are bots.
You could save time and money bundling your home and auto when you switch to Progressive. It's one less thing to worry about during your already busy day. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Did you get the video?
Let me check. Nah, it's still trying to send, I guess. Oh, wait, it just came through. What? That is hilarious.
It might only take a second to check your phone while driving, but that's all the time it takes to change everything. Whatever it is, it can wait. Because whether it's a ticket, a crash, or a life, it's not worth it. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
my gosh, Ted, why are you digging up the yard?
I'm looking for that stupid pipe. The bathroom drain is still clogged.
Shouldn't we call Goodfellas AC and Plumbing? You know, the professionals?
I found the pipe.
Whatever clogs your drains, leave it to the professionals at Goodfellas AC and Plumbing. The choice your family can count on for quick, reliable plumbing service using Permaliner to fix pipes and drains without digging up the yard. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Everyone loves to get together for food, fun, and sports. But what's the best spot? I'm Josh Bishop, owner of Fork and Fire, Catalina, and Oro Valley. My brother, best friend, and I have been cooking for one another and for our neighbors for years, and we get to live our passion every day at Fork and Fire. At our Catalina Grill, you'll love the elevated bar fare and barbecue, served in our relaxed and fun neighborhood grill. Fork and Fire Catalina, where great food meets good times and a strong community. Bring everyone on down to Fork and Fire in Catalina and Oro Valley.
Softball and baseball season has arrived in Tucson, and tickets are on sale now. From the greatest setting in softball at Hillenbrand Stadium to the dingers into the Tucson Sunset at High Corbett, you won't want to miss any of the action this season. Tell a friend, bring the kids, and spend your evenings at the yard, as the Wildcats are sure to put on a show. Get your tickets now by calling 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/tickets. Bear down.
Hey, that was our exit. We're going to miss the first pitch.
Just got to make a stop at Fry's. I promised I'd bring nachos.
Nice. You have the Upside app too, right?
Upside? What's that?
Upside is a free app that gets you cash back when you buy groceries. And they just added Fry's stores in the Tucson Sierra Vista area.
Wait, I can get money back just for buying groceries?
Yep. And right now you can get an extra $10 bonus on your first Fry's trip with the app. That's up to $25 cash back on one grocery run.
Even this Fry's store right here?
Yes. Now pull over. Let's get some cash back on those nachos.
Upside is now available for Fry's stores in the Tucson Sierra Vista area. Download the free Upside app and use promo code AZ3 to get a $10 bonus on your first purchase at Fry's. That's promo code AZ3 to get a $10 bonus. Remember, use promo code AZ3.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Football. Basketball's over. And so I had a chance to go out and watch some football today. How about that? Arizona Wildcats spring football well underway. I think this was the second practice of this week, and I think there's 4 practices left because there's Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, and then actually there's more than that. So there's 3 next week and 3 the week. So we're halfway through. This would have been, I believe, the 8th practice of the spring. Great to watch the guys again today. Get out there. A lot of new faces. A lot of new names. This might be an all-name team for sure. But there's always one or two things you walk into. I walk into my first practice of the year, and I'm always asking myself a number of questions. And one of the questions I ask myself is it finally this wide receiver's time here at Arizona?
In Oklahoma State territory, Noah will throw it down the far side. Nice pass, nice catch. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, my goodness, Noah Fafita. I don't know if I've seen him any better. Chris Hunter right there to drop it in. Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah, that's what you call, you drop in the bucket right there.
So Noah Fafita with a 5-touchdown game today.
Chris Hunter. That's one of the questions I asked myself when I walked into the facility today and was beginning to watch some of the workouts. Is this finally the year for Chris Hunter? This is a young man who, again, he's a senior now, redshirt senior. He has 62 catches in his 3 seasons here. He had 35 2 years ago. He had 27 last year, which again, he's getting balls, but he never has really become. I always looked at Chris Hunter and thought, man, that's a guy that should catch 50 plus passes a year. He's got that type of potential. And it just, for whatever reason, hasn't happened. There's been a number of injuries. He's been slowed. He only played in 5 games 3 years ago. So he just has never quite fully reached that potential level that I thought we should see from Chris Hunter. So that was the first maybe, and that question came about, obviously, because I think I came in and I was watching the wide receivers. It was the first group that I kind of honed in on because they were kind of right in front. You kind of go and see who's right in front of you, and it was the wide receivers. Is this finally the year for Chris Hunter? 6'1", 195 pounds, out of New Orleans, Louisiana, wears number 11. Let's hear from Chris Hunter on how he's approaching this senior season.
I really say start off by always being grateful, thanking the Lord that I had the opportunity to be able to spend my time in Tucson. It's been amazing. But also knowing, it's the last year, I just want to put it all out on the line and use everything I learned in the past and all the stuff I prepared myself to do to make this year a great one.
So will it be a great one? That's the question. Will it be that great year for Chris Hunter? And what's a great year for him? For me, it would be, I'd love to see Chris Hunter get to 50 balls. I mean, let's start there. Let's start with 50. And maybe you get to 60, 75 catches if you're Chris Hunter. But I want to see Chris Hunter be at the forefront of this offense. I want to see Chris Hunter be one of the primary guys that Noah is throwing to out there. And Noah Fafita he was throwing the football today. He had 3 straight touchdown passes in the 7-on-7 part of the schedule. 3 straight beautiful balls. And I'm not talking about dump downs or anything like that to get the ball in the end zone. He was throwing on the back line of the end zone, throwing on the back line with a comfortability that we have not seen from Noah in the practice setting. Because again, I don't get to a lot of the, I think we get 1 or 2 days that we can go and watch practice after the season starts, and I don't generally get down there because we have so much other stuff going on. So the last practice settings that I've seen him in are from fall camp when I talked highly about how he was struggling against the defense last year. And it's too early to say, okay, well, is Noah just that good? Is he looking that good senior year? Is he looking that good? Or is maybe the backside of this defense not as good as what we had last year? And that's going to be the next big question. What is the backside of that defense going to look like this year with all those guys gone, without a Dalton Johnson, without a Traden Stukes, without a Genesis Smith back there? And there's some guys, a lot of the frontline guys aren't really playing in a lot of these team drills so far in camp. some of your starters don't necessarily get a whole lot of run in spring camp. It's really a lot of the younger guys that are back there. So Noah right now might be throwing more against the 2s than he is against the 1s. Fall camp will be the real story, but he looked good out there today, did Noah Fifita. Bobby Wade, what are you expecting from Chris Hunter as he enters this senior season?
It's just time for Chris to, take a hold of the reins of being the leader within the room and, a guy that I can lean on to push this group if I'm not around for some reason, and with the details, and also, holding guys accountable. Not only that, but him individually, he knows there's still growth there for him. He's missed a little time last season, and so I know he was very dedicated this winter to really try to find the imbalances within his strength to be able to make sure he doesn't miss any time. We're really seeing a different Chris Hunter when it comes to that too. He seems to be fresh every practice. He's finishing every practice, and he's back to where he can just kind of run all day, and that's what you want him to be.
It looked like it was going to be the breakout last year. 5 catches against Iowa State in that loss there. 5 catches the following week against Oklahoma State. The touchdown you heard, the 5th that Noah threw in that game. Had another touchdown the next week in the game here against BYU, which the Wildcats lost in the end. And then again, the injuries cropped up. No catches against Houston. 1 catch against Colorado. No catches against Kansas. 2 catches against Cincinnati. 1 against Baylor. Came back and had 4 against ASU and only 2 against SMU. But like Bobby said there, it's time for him to take the reins. It's time for Chris Hunter to take the reins of not only being the leader in that room, but also being the leader of that room on the field. That's what I want to see from Chris Hunter this year. Chris on his increased leadership role now as a senior.
Last year, Coach Bobby did a great job, I'd say, to kind of try to start nudging me in that role to kind of be the leadership guy in the room. And then especially this year, pretty sure I'm like the oldest guy in the room right now. So, every day he pretty much talk to me, try to push the guys and all that. So I feel like, I'll try to step into that role. I have a lot of help with the guys, They don't try to put it all on me and make it hard. They make it pretty easy for me. But, I embrace that knowing, if that's what I have to do, I'm down to do it.
So that's one of my questions this spring, and it'll be one as we go into fall camp in August. Is this the year that Chris Hunter finally breaks out and becomes a dominant part of this offense? There's other guys now. There's Giovanni Richardson. I guess we're calling him Giovanni now. There's Giovanni Richardson, who's going to be a sophomore this year and broke out at the end of last year. There's Trey Spivey. Isaiah Mazzell made a hell of a catch. I talked about the Noah throwing 3 straight touchdown passes. One of those was to Isaiah Mazzell on the sideline in the end zone, and he made a hell of a catch. There's other guys. Can Chris Hunter rise above that and be the dominant receiver that we all believe he can be for this team? 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. We're going to talk some more NASCAR coming up. Driver Mason Massey from the Arca Menard Series is going to join us. Cricket, you have a fast car. Do you like to go and watch the fast cars?
Sometimes.
Are you a race car kind of person? Do you ever get out to Tucson Speedway at all or no?
I do enjoy that at times. It's been a while, but yeah.
Okay. Outstanding.
I love the smell of burnouts. Yeah. Yes.
Even
the rubber in the air.
Like I leave there and my hair smells like burnouts.
Do you go to the park and just like do burn on your tires there a little bit?
No, because the tires are expensive.
Yeah, tires cost far too much to do that.
To be messing around.
Messing around.
Maybe right before I get new tires, I might do one burnout. Maybe. Just one.
You never done the oval here at on the campus of the Cumulus campus, the oval?
I will not say. There's a nice straightaway at the end of our driveway.
There is a very nice straightaway there. Yeah, that's a nice straightaway to make that turn.
On
Do that, 'cause
two wheels.
we were talking about that earlier. J-Dub was like saying, what is the sound of a qualify. We were talking about the because they qualify on Friday nights before the race on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, "What's the sound of qualifying? Give us your give us your racetrack sound."
I have none. I mean, I'm not good at impersonations. I can't imitate things.
You got to start low.
It kind of depends on the car. Like if we're talking like a Fast and Furious car, that's more like, But like if you're talking like a muscle car, it kind of depends.
Okay.
So some roaring, like thunder, if it's a muscle car.
Mm-hmm. Thunder.
Thunder.
Crickets. God. Quotes.
Yes.
All right. DJ J Dub.
Right there's where you feel the vibration in the seat.
Right. Oh boy.
That's the one. Like a lot of times, television doesn't really represent reality, but in NASCAR, if you're sitting in a seat, it sounds just like that because the way the sound changes as the cars get closer to you, and then when they pass by, that's the sound.
Yes. Agreed.
Thank you, Doppler effect.
Yes.
Doppler effect.
That's the sound of. That's what happens when you drive by a sound and it starts to dissipate as you get away from it.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you drop a drop of water in a calm pond, David Kelly.
Oh. Okay. Crickets. God. Quotes. Did you see the bucket, Dragon Ball?
I did not see the bucket.
This is where
You gotta
quotes
see the
will
bucket.
be. Do you I got maybe like 100 in there. Maybe about 100 quotes. About. See.
Wow.
You're not even looking. This is important.
I'm trying to put you on camera. I'm trying to get.
sorry.
For some reason, your camera's not there right now. I'm trying to put I'm trying to put you on camera so people can see the bucket.
I'm very proud of the
I'm going.
bucket.
There we go. Now show everybody the bucket. There we go.
See, you got the little quotes kind of folded up in there. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. All right. I like that. So you actually, this is real.
This is real.
The stuff is these things in there actually have writing on them. That's just not for show.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But sometimes
I'm
when there's
impressed with the time that you put into this.
Of course. While you guys were gone, I had some free time. You took a day off.
There we go.
But sometimes when there's like a special holiday, maybe we might cater to that holiday. And I employ Dragon Ball to help today.
Ooh, okay. What's the holiday?
It is Winston Churchill Day.
Oh.
And so I have something actually for the quotes.
Hold on. Okay. So who's reading this? You or her?
That would be me.
Yes.
Okay. Let me get to you.
I love this.
There we go. All right. Go ahead.
If any words that I have spoken have commanded attention, that is only because they find an echo in the breasts of those of every land and of every race who love freedom and are the foes of tyranny.
You really missed your calling, man.
That is good.
Can you just get out of here and get in your car and go to Hollywood, please?
See, here's the weird thing is that's not the first major political person I did an impression of. When I was in high school, we had a play called Assassins, which it's a musical about every presidential assassin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they had me be the voice of all the former presidents that were there, including Ronald Reagan.
Oh.
Sorry, Nancy, but I forgot to duck.
Oh, so now I've got another official figure that you can do some quotes for.
That and Jerry Ford, which apparently everyone liked the Jerry Ford one, but it's mostly just I try to make it as slapstick as possible. The way he's presented in the play.
You're very impressive.
Dragon Ball. See, he's got. I think your future is in television, man.
I've got some
motion pictures.
I've got some voiceover auditions that I've sent out recently, so we'll see.
Oh, nice! I am very
20
impressed.
years ago, because now all the voice acting is done by celebrities.
Yes, they are.
That's how that
Thank you,
works
Chris Pratt.
nowadays. Yeah.
Thank you, Chris Pratt.
You got moving pictures here.
Good job.
Okay.
Good job, Dragon Ball.
All
And
right.
just a side note, the reason why it's Winston Churchill Day was because today's date in 1963, JFK made Churchill an honorary U.S. citizen.
In
Just
1963?
FYI. Yes.
Okay.
That's kind of slanderous because today's the day that the Civil War ended.
Really?
Yes. So that's a little more important than what happened in Great Britain.
We'd be given some history today.
Some history.
You see, you miss a day, you miss a lot here.
Yeah.
All right, Cricket getting you home now every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
And from the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Collision occurred at Speedway in Swan, some slowing at the intersection, mostly really heavy southbound and westbound. Back up Speedway in Swan. 6th Avenue in Irvington reported. Northbound Wilmot at Speedway. Tucson Boulevard north of Speedway. Also wrecked Duval Mine Road at I-19. 62, the overnight low, partly cloudy. 90 tomorrow with a slight chance of rain this weekend. 93 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Brake Masters.
You're close to your journey's end. You're winning half the battle, and then it happens. A rattle. You got this. Just head on over to any Brake Masters stop sign. Download coupons and schedule an appointment from your smartphone.
Brake Masters. We give you an honest break.
With Bet365 Early Payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
The jungle has moved to afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care and a community of grateful Wildcat fans as we say thank you and congratulations to Coach Lloyd and our Arizona Wildcats on a record 36 wins, Big 12 championship, and a trip to the Final Four. Thank you for another great year. For nearly 6 decades, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care has been an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. We've seen a long history of Wildcat teamwork and excellence. And we know Arizona drivers are counting on that same kind of service for their car's next championship drive to work, school, or back home again. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care will be there with affordable tires and award-winning service at 14 area locations. This month, we've got an entire page of online savings for Wildcat fans. Check out jackfurriers.com/bear down and save up to $140 on the tire brands you love, like Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Uniroyal, and even more championship savings on automotive service. Stop by, call ahead, or make an appointment online. We're ready to help. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Hey, that was our exit. We're going to miss the first pitch.
Just got to make a stop at Fry's. I promised I'd bring nachos.
Nice. You have the Upside app too, right?
Upside? What's that?
Upside is a free app that gets you cash back when you buy groceries. And they just added Fry's stores in the Tucson Sierra Vista area.
Wait, I can get money back just for buying groceries?
Yep. And right now you can get an extra $10 bonus on your first Fry's trip with the app. That's up to $25 cash back on one grocery run.
Even this Fry's store right here?
Yes. Now pull over. Let's get some cash back on those nachos.
Upside is now available for Fry's stores in the Tucson Sierra Vista area. Download the free Upside app and use promo code AZ3 to get a $10 bonus on your first purchase at Fry's. That's promo code AZ3 to get a $10 bonus. Remember, use promo code AZ3.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Download our app. It slaps. Nobody covers Southern Arizona sports like we do. Don't miss out on any of the highlights, stories, and analysis. The flagship home for Arizona Wildcats athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside.
I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So, even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code ACTIVE for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ACTIVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's ACTIVE.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Why do I spend so much time educating our youth about financial wellness? I have seen the fire ignite inside of young adults when I show them how the power of compound investing can change their futures. This is Natalie Fernandez at Meridian Wealth Management, and I'm committed to affecting change with our youth. An idea for all of you listening today, gift a Roth IRA contribution for the holidays or birthdays for your kids and grandkids. Contact our office at 520-719-1433 for guidance and details. The change begins with us.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Kirk Cousins talked to the media on Wednesday in Las Vegas after being introduced as Raiders quarterback. Cousins said, quote, "The best player needs to play," end quote, which could mean two things. He's aware of the situation, and when the kid is ready, Cousins will head to the bench. Or he thinks he's the starter until he's beaten out, which would not be the best situation for the Raiders. I'm Chris Black.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, Arca Menard's West Series back here in Southern Arizona for a second consecutive year after a 5-year hiatus. It'll be out at Tucson Speedway this weekend. We talked to Mark Kirtle from Front Stretch in the first hour. Let's talk to one of the guys who's going to drive and hopefully win this race Saturday. Already has one win already this season. Mason Massey joins us now. He won the inaugural race at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway over in Central California in the month of February, and now he will be here in Tucson this weekend. Mason, appreciate you taking some time to join us. This has been an interesting career for you. You've had a chance to obviously drive at some higher levels in the Xfinity Series, but now you're back partnering with Bill McAnally here at the Arca Menard West Series. How did that relationship with McAnally Racing come together?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. Yeah. It was a process last year, kind of started I'd say the middle of last year. I've been racing trucks in Xfinity for 5 years now, just kind of bouncing back and forth. And I just wanted something different. I've been lucky to race for a living for a while now, which has been awesome. But when I was coming up through the ranks, I won a lot and had a lot of really good races, and I just wanted to get in something I could win in. I was really taking any opportunity I could in the trucks and all that, and I just wasn't able to race anything that was winning race cars. And so I started talking to Bill, and he mentioned his Arca West program, which I knew a lot about. I always heard about it. I always saw that car winning a bunch of races, so I was very interested. And we started having conversations, and it just kind of led to all this right now. So I just feel really thankful for it.
So, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of one of the major NASCAR series, whether that's trucks or Xfinity or one of the Pro Series, was that your first win?
It was my first win, yeah. It was really exciting. I just it was really nice, and it was really good for myself to know, I hopped in a good car for the first time in 5 or 6 years and was able to win first time out. So it was really good for my confidence, for sure.
We're chatting with none other than Mason Massey. He is going to be driving in the race this weekend, ARCA Menards Series West. You mentioned, obviously, you've driven cars, you've driven trucks. Do you have a preference? Because I know a lot of drivers will do that. Even here on our local circuit, we have a lot of the drivers here in the local Tucson circuit who drive both the various car divisions as well as the truck divisions. Do you have a preference?
I don't know, man. I just like driving race cars, but I will say I like the cars because they have less downforce than the truck series does. And I like to slide around a lot. I do a lot of dirt racing, so that's kind of what I'm used to. I just like the cars. You go to Kansas, I don't know, places like Kansas, Darlington, places like that, and you run the fence in the Xfinity cars. You're bouncing off the fence, hanging on to it. You're sideways. It's awesome. And in the truck series, you can't really hit the fence because it'll cut a tire down if you ain't careful. So it's a lot of fun racing the cars. I like racing the trucks too. It's a lot different. And each one of them has its own characteristics, but they're both pretty fun.
You mentioned this, and I read an article where you mentioned that this, and you said it just in our interview, that this is a very popular car, the number 19 Chevy, in this series. You called it iconic in one story that I read. What makes this vehicle so historic in this series? Has there been guys that have driven it in the past? You mentioned, obviously, that it's been in the winner's circle a lot.
It's all of the above. Like you have your Jesse Loves and you have your Ty Gillilands that are in the Cup Series and Xfinity Series winning races. It's just the guys like that have gone through his program. And I was able to get Bill's 101st win in the series. And if you got 100 wins in any series, I would say you know what you're doing and you have pretty good stuff. So it's an honor to drive this car. I've always paid attention to ARCA West, and I've always seen this car in victory lane, so I knew hopping in this thing, I had to go win. So it felt really good to do that first time out.
So what do you know about this racetrack here at Tucson Speedway? And obviously, I would imagine you'll get out here tomorrow and have a chance to do some qualifying driving. What do you know about it?
I did not know anything about it until about 2 weeks ago. I started watching the race from last year. And, man, from what I've seen, it looks incredible. I've always liked old asphalt, and I've always liked the tracks to wear tires out, and it's almost a cat and mouse game. You have to save your stuff, and you see guys that take off early. About halfway through the race, they start falling back. So you don't really want to be that guy. You really have to focus on saving your brakes and your tires, and you never know when a caution is going to come out. So it's a lot that goes into it. It reminds me of, maybe like a New Hampshire or like a Richmond with the old asphalt like that. So from what I've seen, it looks awesome. And I like I like how the third group has more banking than the bottom, so it kind of gives you options.
Mason Massey is our guest, race car driver, going to be driving this weekend here in the ARCA Menards West Series race out of Tucson Speedway. You've had a chance, obviously, to race in the first two races in this series so far. What are the drivers like out here? There's obviously a lot of West Coast drivers out here. You come from down south, Douglasville, Georgia. Is it a different mentality in terms of how folks drive out here than maybe what you're used to down in the south?
I thought it was about the same. I mean, there's a lot of talented drivers out here. Obviously, my teammate Haley Deegan is really good. I think Haley's a really good driver, and you have the reigning champion Trevor Huddleston. He's really good too, and you have a lot of good competition, especially Phoenix. The Phoenix race is about 40 cars there from the East and the West series, and it was really good cars and a lot of talented guys in that field. And we actually weren't too happy with our car that day, but still able to pull off a top 5, which if you have a top 5 on your bad day, I'd say that's pretty good. But I've enjoyed racing with everybody on the West Coast. It's a lot of respect out there, but it's really hard racing.
So what was obviously same car, different circumstances. What was the difference between race 1 and race 2, and what do you do to refine now for this third event?
So race 1, I was able to test there the week before at the Kern Raceway, and we had to really, really dial it in. And I was able to take the lead on a late restart. And we go to Phoenix, and I was pretty happy with the car. It's not like it was bad or anything, but we just didn't have the winning piece that we hoped for. I have a really good crew chief, Ty Joyner, and I got a lot of faith in him because, like I said, if you have a top 5 on your bad day, that's pretty good. So we've been talking a bunch, and we missed it just a little bit. So hopefully next Phoenix race will be good, be able to get the win there.
Who were the guys you grew up idolizing, Mason?
These are 2 different guys for sure, but Jimmy Johnson and Kyle Busch. I like Jimmy Johnson, the way he carries himself, and he just does it the right way. He wins, and you don't have to brag on himself. He's humble, and he's the best of all time, I think, in my opinion. But on the other hand, I like Kyle Busch. He makes it entertaining. I always like the bow after he wins, and I like both of those guys just for different reasons. I also had a lot of guys in my life as I came up through the ranks that I looked up to, like an Austin Hill. I'm really good buddies with Austin, and he's helped me a lot in my career from the same hometown. So he's kind of a guy that I go to if I need advice about certain racetracks and things like that.
How old were you when you first got behind the wheel?
I was only 5 years old. I started racing quarter midgets at 5. My family's always done dirt racing, so I'd go to the dirt track when I was only 2 or 3 years old, and it made me want to race. So I started quarter midgets at 5, and then went to Bandoleros, Legend Cars, and I went to late models after that, and went up through the ranks kind of like a lot of the guys do, and started racing dirt when I was about 15 or 16, which is awesome. I feel like I learned a lot from that I could apply to the asphalt stuff. So I started racing NASCAR when I was about 22, I think it was. So had a pretty normal come up.
When you look back so far at your career, what's the one? Is there a rate other than obviously you won a few weeks ago, being I would imagine one of the top moments of your career? What would you categorize maybe as the next one?
I was able to race for Bill Elliott when I was 15.
Wow.
Able to win a couple races with that team. It was right after Chase got out of the late models, and I was able to get that opportunity to jump right in there, and it was awesome to drive the number 9 car, and it was a lot of fun. So it was really big for my career because we didn't have much money coming up, and they gave me an amazing opportunity. I've known that family for a long time. They're really good people, and I'm still thankful for that opportunity. It kind of put me on the map, So I would say that's the next biggest thing, and I was also proud to win some dirt races. It was really cool for me to kind of prove to myself I could win on dirt and asphalt.
At 29, Mason, how long do you think you want to continue driving?
I'd like to race as long as I can, I see some of these dirt guys out here at 55, 60 years old still winning races in the World of Outlaws Tours and Lucas Tours. And I see guys on asphalt, 45 years old still running races. So I would like to race as long as my body will do it.
There you go. Mason Massey, he drives the number 19 Chevy. Check him out this weekend out at Tucson Speedway. It's the ARCA Menards West Series. Doors open at 5 o'clock on Saturday. They'll be qualifying during the day, and the main race in the evening caps off another exciting night here of NASCAR racing, stock car racing in Southern Arizona. Mason, safe travels as you get over here, and best of luck to you this weekend.
All right, man. Thank you very much. Should be a fun weekend.
There you go. William Mason Macy IV out of Douglasville, Georgia. 520-848-1290 if you are headed out to the races this weekend. Want to hear from you. What excites you the most about having and NASCAR's West Regional Series back here for another spring in southern Arizona? Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5. She's got your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. With collisions that are reported working wrecks, Swan and Speedway and Swan, slowing at the intersection, the really heavy backups westbound and southbound Swan and Speedway. Tucson Boulevard north of Speedway, earlier wreck that was impacting northbound Wilmot at Speedway. 6th Avenue in Irvington and also in Sahuarita, Duval Mine Road at I-19. 62, the overnight low, partly cloudy, 90 tomorrow and 93 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Brake Masters.
You're close to your journey's end. You're winning half the battle, and then it happens. A rattle. You got this. Just head on over to any Brake Masters stop sign. Download coupons and schedule an appointment from your smartphone.
Brake Masters. We give you an honest break.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So, even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code ACTIVE for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ACTIVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's ACTIVE.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Wildcat fans, it's time to renew your season tickets. Renewals are now live for Arizona football, men's and women's basketball, volleyball, and soccer. Not a season ticket holder? Well, now's your chance to become one, as new season tickets are also on sale. Visit ArizonaWildcats.com/renew or call 520-621-CATS. That's 621-2287 to renew or buy new season tickets. And remember, the deadline to renew is May 1st. Bear down.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was, and even better. Dorado Rock and Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock and Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Average doesn't grow your business. Smart strategy does. Cumulus digital campaigns outperform industry benchmarks by over 25%. You're not average, and your results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to leave average behind.
Hey, that was our exit. We're going to miss the first pitch.
Just got to make a stop at Fry's. I promised I'd bring nachos.
Nice. You have the Upside app too, right?
Upside? What's that?
Upside is a free app that gets you cash back when you buy groceries. And they just added Fry's stores in the Tucson Sierra Vista area.
Wait, I can get money back just for buying groceries?
Yep. And right now you can get an extra $10 bonus on your first Fry's trip with the app. That's up to $25 cash back on one grocery run.
Even this Fry's store right here?
Yes. Now pull over. Let's get some cash back on those nachos.
Upside is now available for Fry's stores in the Tucson Sierra Vista area. Download the free Upside app and use promo code AZ3 to get a $10 bonus on your first purchase at Fry's. That's promo code AZ3 to get a $10 bonus. Remember, use promo code AZ3.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Full Send Golf.
You guys know how much I really, really love golf, and I think every week would be dope to post on the Golf Channel. I want to get a lot of guests on here.
Salim's going to take a lead. I'm down to be in it. It's not really work to play golf.
Join the party on the golf course.
I was like, let's go to the range.
Oh.
So what are we putting on it?
We said 10K, right?
10K?
All right. We probably bet more than all the other golf channels, right?
10K, 9 holes.
Those guys bet for like cookies.
I feel like I'm going to shank it.
This guy's been trading like a Navy SEAL when it comes to golf.
I'm very, very excited. You excited?
Yeah.
Full Send Golf. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
So much for me talking up Framber Valdez yesterday.
24 pitches already for Valdez. Base hit into left center. Hard contact by Lewis. Bell will score. Here comes Wallner. Royce Lewis drives in a pair. It is 6-0.
Yeah, Framber was terrible. Terrible. Ugh. Yeah. The Twins beat the Tigers. Dragon Ball, did you know that Framber Valdez now pitches for the Tigers? I did not know that until yesterday.
There's still
midway through the show.
Yeah, there's still a few guys I'm still wondering, wow, he's here? Why? When did he get here?
Right.
But that's like the first 2 weeks of the Major League Baseball season, I feel like, because not everybody's paying attention during the winter meetings anymore. There's so many moves that happen so quickly.
But usually you hear the big pitchers going places. I don't even remember hearing that Framber Valdez had gone to the Tigers.
There you go.
So we needed Framber Valdez to strike out 6 guys. It was 5.5, if I'm not mistaken. It was, 5.5. We needed 6. We only got 2 from Framber. 5 innings, 10 hits, 8 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Twins beat the Tigers 8-6. Tigers, who were the talk of baseball last year, are just 4-8 out of the gate. So, and 2-7 on the road, so not playing all that well. So we lost on that one last night with Framber Valdez.
By the way, Dragon Ball, he had 5 in his first start.
Yeah.
And 5 in his second start. That's why they put the line at 5.5 last night. Yeah.
Nothing but the model of consistency.
Right. Apparently this went down in February.
So this was after the
February,
meeting.
yeah. Just in February, not too long ago.
Our other play last night was the Clippers game, the Clippers and the Thunder. We had 224, and we took the over on that 224. That game came in at 128-110, so that was plenty. 238 was the final on that. So I'm sorry, we took the under on that game. Not the over. We took the under because we thought because they convinced us it was going to be a battle of 2 defenses. Well, see, there we go. We should have flipped that. We lost both yesterday. We should have flipped.
I mean, Kawhi Leonard and Derek Jones Jr. are both good defenders. Who else on that team, Dragon Ball, is a good defender? Ben Mathurin is not a good defender.
No.
Nicholas Batum is like 100 years old. Brooke Lopez is also 100 years old. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think the Clippers are
even then,
a good defensive
when
team.
Brooke was a young buck,
He could block some shots.
He could block some shots, but
and rebound.
There's a reason Robin was on that Stanford team. Was that Robin was the defensive specialist. Brooke was the guy they gave the ball when they needed to score.
Talk about the one that got away, man. That's one of those, like, the Lopez twins were between Arizona and Stanford, basically. Yep. Yeah.
All right, so 2 L's. We'll take 2 L's there. They gave us yesterday, but, I mean, they only gave us 1 golf, so we'll take it and play it because it's not necessarily a bad play. They told us to take John Rahm out of ASU, which maybe we should have dumped that. John Rahm to win
He represents the
Masters.
school well.
Yeah.
John Rahm shot 6 over today and is tied for 73rd. There was a lot of bad rounds. Bryson was +4 today at the Masters. Your leader, though, is you're tied for the lead. Rory McIlroy trying to go back-to-back. That would be exciting, though, to see Rory try to win a second consecutive Masters after losing all those years. Sam Burns, I don't know anything about Sam Burns, is tied with Rory McIlroy for the lead currently at 5 under. Scotty Scheffler is 3 shots back at -2. That's what you've got after one round at Augusta National, the Masters. So we've got John Rahm with needing a lot of work to get back in this thing at +6. What do we have for you tonight on your Westwood One Top Plays?
I'm Pat Boyle here to help you get the hooks with Westwood One Sports. Knicks host the Celtics tonight, and whether Boston has their full squad or half of it, I like the Knicks to cover. As of this morning, Boston has everybody in their starting lineup except Jason Tatum listed as questionable. They have a back-to-back tomorrow against the Pelicans. They're trying to lock up the 2 seed while the Knicks are trying to catch them. Maybe this is cat and mouse. Maybe they will sit everybody. Either way, I think the Knicks take care of them tonight. I'm Pat Boyle. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
All right, so either way we go on this, it's -110 tonight. I don't. So they say take the Knicks and lay the 5.5. After last night, I'm about to go back to flipping them and taking the Celtics and the 5.5. Thoughts from J.
Well, the logic is obviously very sound. If the Celtics are not playing any of their starters, right? The question then becomes like, who in the bottom half of that bracket, guys, do you want to avoid? Because we know that the Magic have a decent squad if they're healthy with the Wagners and Banchero. Did you hear the news today about the Sixers, though?
Yeah, that was actually going to be in my update here coming up in a little bit.
Appendicitis for Joel. Joel had emergency appendicitis surgery today, so I don't know about that. But as far as the game tonight, I mean, if the Celtics are not starting, the Knicks have every reason. They're 3 games back right now. So that way they would have to win all the remaining of their games and have the Celtics lose the rest of their games. But that jockeying for position is literally just to avoid whoever you're going to play in that first round. And I don't really think it matters. Looking at the standings in the East, none of those teams 7 through 10 are really a scary squad to match up with.
And even then, if you go ahead and have the Celtics drop all the way down to 6, which I don't think is going to happen in any capacity, considering they're 3 games ahead of the Knicks right now, you would go up against a potential Raptors squad, and I don't know. The Raptors, to me, they're good enough to stay out of the play-in, but I don't see them as a team that's going to make very big waves when it comes to the NBA playoffs here or going towards the second or third round. We're probably going to see them in a one-and-done for Toronto this season.
The Knicks are just a half game ahead of my Cavaliers, so the Cavaliers could still win that 3rd position. And again, that I think the Knicks, at least the way that I think it was Pat Boyle last night was talking on Westwood One as a Knicks fan. He says, I'm all about the Knicks dropping to 4 to avoid the Celtics until the conference finals.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the logic. I mean, Tatum's looked pretty good since he's come back. And obviously, that's the championship pedigree of that team that obviously weren't really in there last year. But, yeah, I mean, I think the Celtics are probably the scariest team. The Pistons are just a little too young. I mean, Cade has been out for a while, right, with that lung issue, wasn't it?
Yeah, collapsed lung.
Yeah, and Duran is really young. Thompson is really young. So as good as they've played, and the fact that the Pistons have earned that 1 spot in the East, that's not a team that's ever had any kind of playoff experience, none of them. So it'll be interesting to see like how they perform this year. They've been the most physical, outside of maybe OKC, they've been the most physical team all year. That usually does well in the playoffs, but there's so many adjustments. But the Celtics are the team I'd be worried about just because, I mean, those guys have already won a championship with that core group.
Yeah, and the playoff experience that this Pistons squad did get last season, I mean, it was a little bit neck and neck there with the Knicks. But this was a Knicks team that was still really trying to figure themselves out. And the new coaching lead right now has had them play a little bit higher than I expected. And I expected the Knicks to actually drop maybe all the way to the 5th spot just because I felt this was going to be a year they were going to have a downward spell, a disappointment dip, if you will. But they have certainly stepped up really well. The Pistons, I think this will be a year where we can see they can win consistently in the regular season. Now it's a matter of do they know how to win in the playoffs? And they got 2 against the Knicks last year, but they did not do well when they were at home. And if a playoff team is going to win at home, you expect them to. And they did not do that last year. They went ahead and lost 3 games in Detroit against this Knicks squad last year.
And that's what I mean about experience. This Knicks core group, Mikal Bridges came over a year and a half ago. He's had his own experience with the Suns. But this core group with the Knicks have now been through like 4 consecutive long playoff runs where they've made it to the Eastern Conference Finals more often than not recently. And I mean, Jalen Brunson, like, how do you bet against that dude? Best pound for pound baller in the NBA. So yeah, I mean, I really like Cade Cunningham. Hopefully he's 100% healthy. I think he was in contention for the MVP award. Mm-hmm. I'm really looking forward to seeing what that Piston. That's a rough brand of basketball.
Oh yeah,
that's a very physical brand of basketball those guys play. Not quite the mid to late '80s Pistons, but yeah, I mean that's a fun young team as far as the talent goes. Really like Thompson, really like Duren, and obviously Cade Cunningham is really really a good watch. I just think the Celtics and Knicks, as far as their their playoff experience as their core groups. And then there's the Cavs, DK. And the Cavs, it's really kind of a make or miss situation for them, right? Because obviously Spida is, one of the 2-3 best scorers in the NBA, if we want to be real.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I mean, obviously they pride themselves on their interior defense, and that can do quite a lot of good things in the NBA playoffs. But it's really a matter of those guys like Strauss, right, hitting outside shots.
Indeed. I mean, Max is still working his way back. He missed the majority of the season, just got back a few weeks ago, but finding his stride as he tries to be that X factor for them in the postseason. Jaylen Brown is the only player on the Celtics injury report who, as of 2 hours ago, was listed as out. Everybody else is listed as available. So what are we taking? Celtics +5 or Knicks -5?
Flip a coin.
Yeah, considering the game's already tipped off and the Celtics are up by 2, I'm going to go ahead and say Jason Tatum has already got 6 points on just 4 shots. So, yeah, I like the Celtics potentially.
Look at that starting lineup, though.
Derek White.
Sam Hauser. They got Keita in there. They got
Keita.
Something named Jordan Walsh apparently is starting for the Celtics. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to take the Celtics and the 5.5 over the Knicks.
Baylor Shireman.
There we go. All right, DK on the sports tip, 520-848-1290. We'll get to the Diamondbacks game already started too, so we'll update you on that. We'll get you your download as well. Final game of the series in New York against the Mets happening tonight, and we may hear a little bit more from the Suns as well coming up. If you want to talk Arizona football, I was out at practice today. Saw a few things, and again, we can dive into that as it was the first spring practice I've had a chance to see from your Arizona football team this year. Dragon Ball is seeing everything in the world of sports here in Southern Arizona as well as around the world.
Well, it was a big win for Arizona baseball yesterday in some midweek action. They managed to go ahead and rule New Mexico State to get a much-needed win as they prepare for another Big 12 series this weekend. Strong game for Jackson Forbes as he managed to come out with a career-high 3 hits in the contest while the team collected 8 walks on the day. Great showing of plate discipline there. They will be taking on TCU starting tomorrow, which we'll hear live on Wildcats Radio 1290 when we get out ready for
Did
first
you guys
pitch.
hear that story about that minor league team that walked in 9 runs?
No.
Yeah, they gave up 8 runs without a hit. There were like 2 hit batters and like 9 walks in the inning for 8 runs. 8 runs without a single hit.
Wow. That is a day that certainly pitch control would be the next big topic for the coaching staff. Now, the Diamondbacks managed to go and get a nice win over the Mets as they dominated right out of the gate, scoring 5 runs in the first 2 innings yesterday. But it was a strong day from Corbin Carroll at the plate, proving the deciding factor as he had 3 extra base hits on the day. And it was even more of a reason to celebrate for Carroll as it was a major milestone reached in his career by just being in the starting lineup.
I didn't know it was his 500th game. He's got an unbelievable future ahead of him. So 500th was a special day, however you want to look at it. I know he probably cared less. He just was happy that he helped this team win a game and had very productive at-bats. Corbin just gets better and better every day. So I'm just honored to be his manager and sit in the dugout with him.
Carroll goes ahead and joins Lou Gehrig, Willie Mays, and Joe DiMaggio as the only players in Major League Baseball history with 80-plus homers and 40-plus triples in their first 500 games. They also
What was that list again?
Lou Gehrig, Willie Mays, and Joe DiMaggio.
Bro.
Those are some big names in the history of baseball. And the Diamondbacks currently in the bottom of the third with 2 outs. Right now, the Mets up 1-0 in the rubber match of that series. And a former NBA MVP, Joel Embiid, you heard us talk about this earlier, is going to be undergoing emergency surgery in Houston for appendicitis. The decision came just before the team was set to take on the Rockets in one of their last regular season contests, with the Sixers still within reach of a possible top 6 finish with 3 games remaining on their schedule. Embiid has quietly been averaging about 27 points and nearly 8 rebounds a game this year, however, only being able to suit up for 38 games so far on the season. He last played on Monday this week, where he scored 34 points and had 12 rebounds in a loss to the Spurs. I'm Dragonball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Headed for the corner, he's in. Touchdown, Arizona. On the break, slam it home. Here comes the throw home. He slides, he's safe. The Cats are champions.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions at a reported Wilmot and Speedway earlier impacting northbound Wilmot at Speedway. Tucson Boulevard north of Speedway and a crash at Swan and Speedway. Slowing at the intersection. Eastbound, westbound, and heavy southbound backups at Swan and Speedway. Southbound I-19 south of Irvington, debris in the roadway and slowing. 62 the overnight low, partly cloudy, 90 tomorrow and 91 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Want a great way to boost your brand? Custom labels at Staples will help packages pop, shipments stand out, and takeout boxes really take off. Shop now through April 18th and save 30% on all custom labels. Staples, that was easy.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself. And Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The Cup is coming home.
Firing, caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Braden Stooks picks it off, takes it right away. The Cats win the Cup. They win their 9th game of the season, and they do it emphatically.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Clicks don't show the full picture, but Cumulus Digital does. We show you exactly who saw your ad by name and address, and our campaigns beat industry benchmarks by over 25%. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to start outperforming.
Tune in Friday, April 10th as Chip Hale and your Arizona Wildcats take on the TCU Horned Frogs. First pitch is scheduled for 4 p.m. and pregame, starting at 3:45 p.m. right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, that was our exit. We're gonna miss the first pitch.
Just gotta make a stop at Fry's. I promised I'd bring nachos.
Nice. You have the Upside app too, right?
Upside? What's that?
Upside is a free app that gets you cash back when you buy groceries. And they just added Fry's stores in the Tucson Sierra Vista area.
Wait, I can get money back just for buying groceries?
Yep. And right now you can get an extra $10 bonus on your first Fry's trip with the app. That's up to $25 cash back on one grocery run.
Even this Fry's store right here?
Yes. Now pull over. Let's get some cash back on those nachos.
Upside is now available for Fry's stores in the Tucson Sierra Vista area. Download the free Upside app and use promo code AZ3 to get a $10 bonus on your first purchase at Fry's. That's promo code AZ3 to get a $10 bonus. Remember, use promo code AZ3.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no, how bad? When will my AC be fixed?
I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air-conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
From work to errands to family life, your car takes a beating. At Recon Auto Detailing, we don't just protect it, we maintain it.
They installed my ceramic coating in shop, and now their mobile team keeps it looking brand new, right in my driveway.
Ceramic coatings, PPF, tint, all installed professionally at Recon Auto Detailing. And with our mobile detailing, we keep that fresh, protected look mile after mile. One-stop shop, zero hassle. That's Recon Auto Detailing, Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Tuned to DK on the Sports Tip weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Diamondbacks currently in action, wrapping up their series against the Mets. They won yesterday in the 500th career game for this young man.
And Corbin jumps on the first one and knocks it into right center. Jose Fernandez scored. Barossa coming in right behind. Corbin Carroll with a 2-run double, and it's 4-0.
But again, in the strike zone, Carroll waits back enough to throw it in the gap. And you mentioned all the action was happening early for those Giants, and the D-backs are following suit. That's 2 hits on 2 straight pitches.
Corbin Carroll, 500 games in the big leagues. Now in the lineup today, so starting his next chapter, 501. It's crazy. It just seems like he came up yesterday. He's already played 500 games in the big leagues. Corbin Carroll. This is his 5th season. He played 32 games his first year that he came up. Then he's had 3 full seasons. So this essentially is his 4th full season. Now, obviously, he's dealt with some injuries, so he hasn't played in all the games over the course of that time. He missed. Well, and think about it, last year he had the injury. He still played in 143 games. 158 the year before that, 155. So he's averaging right around 150 plus games in his first 3 full big league seasons, and he'll be on pace for that. Came right back from the hamate bone injury that he suffered right even before the spring training actually even started this past spring. But back in the lineup, off to a good start, hitting .333, already leads the league in triples, has led the league in triples the last 3 seasons, has 3 to begin this year, double-digit triples the last 3 seasons for Corbin Carroll, not to mention 22-plus home runs, 74-plus RBIs for the Diamondbacks' young star, who has now played in 500 games. Torey Lovello on that feat for him.
I didn't know it was his 500th game. He's got an unbelievable future ahead of him. So 500th was a special day, however you want to look at it. I know I probably cared less. He just was happy that he helped his team win a game and had very productive at-bats. Corbin just gets better and better every day. So I'm just honored to be his manager and sit in the dugout with him.
Corbin Carroll, who is he'll be 26 this August. 500 games, and he's not even 26 years old yet. He'll be an all-time Diamondback if he stays here. And Lord, let's hope he stays here, because he's the kind of player that you really love to watch play baseball, for sure. 520-848-1290. You want to talk about Corbin Carroll's first 500 games here in the big leagues. If you've seen him play one of those 500 games, want to hear from you today on that. Diamondbacks got that win yesterday. Ryan Nelson, 5 1/3 innings, allowed just 1 run on 5 hits, struck out 5, didn't walk a batter. Was not an easy day, says Torrey, but he powered through.
He was on the attack. He limited overall base runners and traffic. It was cold out there, and I think he had made a comment that he just was having trouble getting loose, and he was just grinding through his outing. It wasn't easy for him. These conditions are tough on everybody, especially for a team like us coming from Arizona. But he pitched into the 6th inning in true Ryan fashion. He was able to go out there and just throw any pitch that he wanted to in certain counts. Wasn't necessarily always there for him, but he was in the zone and in the pocket and did a good job.
I'm willing to go on a vine and say the United States wins the World Baseball Classic if Corbin Carroll plays in the lineup.
I think that would have been. They may have had a better chance at it, considering the lack of hitting prowess that seemed to show up in the knockout stages for the U.S. But he certainly couldn't hurt to have a guy who's just got double speed, seemingly at any given hit that he has in the gap. Absolutely, you absolutely would want to have that if you were the Team USA this past World Baseball Classic.
All right, so the Diamondbacks playing tonight and down 1-0, gave up a run in the first inning to the Mets. That was a home run by Luis Robert Jr. That came off of Eduardo Rodriguez, who has settled down, has allowed just 4 hits over 3 1/3 innings. Looks like it's going to be, that's our guy, Nolan McLean pitching tonight, right? He was a hero in the World Baseball Classic. Nolan McLean. I said I was going to, why am I watching golf replay right now when I could be watching Nolan McLean pitch here tonight? We'll have to get that up on the TV screen here momentarily. All right, last night your Wildcats got a win on the diamond at home against New Mexico State. Much in need of a win, and they got one. Let's hear some of those highlights.
And he drives one deep, and that ball is gone. A Big Mac attack. Carson McIntyre, his 7th home run of the season, and the Wildcats strike first with a 3-run blast. Brandon takes advantage now. First pitch swinging. Nowitzki, base hit. And that's going to bring home a pair for Arizona. Nowitzki digging hard to second, slides in safely. So the Wildcats push 2 more runs across. Here in the bottom of the 6th. They've already scored 4, looking to add to that. Bases loaded. Forbes rolls one over to second base, gets through. A 2-run double here for Forbes, and it is now 10-1 Arizona. Hot shot gets through the hole, and waving on home is McIntyre. He slides in safely, going into third.
And the big win for your Arizona Wildcats, 13-3, a run rule win. So the game ended in the 7th inning. Nothing wrong with that, to get a run rule victory to get yourself going. Wildcats will be on the road at TCU. So we will have just a 1-hour show tomorrow because the opener of that series starts at 6 o'clock Central Time down in Dallas. That is 4 o'clock our time. So we will be on the air from 3 to 4, and then I would imagine Brian is doing the game tomorrow. I've not heard that he is not. Brian Jeffries will be back in the booth to begin our coverage of Wildcat baseball. We've had a couple of one-off games and 2 of the 3 games in the ASU series, and now we will get to the dominant part of our schedule. And as we move down the rest of this Big 12 year.
They're
Chris
just
Harris
waiting for
was
Brian
on,
to get their bats warmed
Chris
up.
Harris was the announcer. I was not familiar with that voice there. Chris Harris calling the game last night on ESPN Plus. Well, they better get going because they got to start winning games.
2 losing seasons since the turn of the century.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not happened often. And if the Cats can get themselves working here, it won't happen so long as they can keep the winning streak going. But, hey, I think there was a player yesterday that was apparently heard saying, hey, we just got to win 1, and that can start a streak. So hopefully this was the one against New Mexico State that will start the streak. as they try to get themselves ready to go into the latter part of their
You
season.
can't score 10 runs with the swing of the bat, right? Like,
No.
The idea is it's just that same thing as your approach at the plate, your approach to each game when you dig yourself such a hole. And this started early in the season, guys. I mean, they kind of came out the gate, did not play great. And obviously, with their star closer being out for the season before their first pitch was ever delivered. But yeah, is the mindset just has to be pitch by pitch, game by inning, game by game. If you're going to turn this around and make any kind of noise in the Big 12, I mean, it starts with, now that they come into the home stretch of the series. How many series are left? 5? 4?
Yeah,
not many.
Maybe 4. Yeah. And hey, the thing is that it's also a matter of how good you are at looking at the pitches that are coming at you. This last game, as I mentioned, about 8 walks in that game against Mexico State. I mean, that's a huge part of them getting guys on base. Again, we know that the U of A likes to play a little small ball, try to go ahead and use their speed to take advantage of some teams. If you can get guys on base without having to swing the bat, all more power to you. So we'll see if that can continue as well as the season continues.
2 days ago, the New Hampshire Fisher Cats scored 8 runs in the second inning against the Portland Sea Dogs without a single hit.
Wow. That's not good.
8 runs, no hits.
That's not good AA baseball.
Yeah, here's the scorecard. 8 walks, 4 wild pitches, and 2 hit by pitches.
Oh, gosh. And there's no ABS in the minor league, so that was just they may have actually missed all those pitches.
In AAA. I don't know if there is in double. I think they have it. They were actually the ones that started it in the minor leagues. I think it's in AAA. I'm not sure if it's in double A.
AAA started that.
Yeah. 5 Wildcats had double more than 2 RBIs in the game last night. Nate Nowitzki had a pair. Tony Leary had a pair. Jackson Forbes and Cash Brennan each had 2, and Carson McIntyre had 3 runs.
You know what they really need is a 6'5" tall inch catcher.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Daniel Susak. We'll get to him,
bro,
coming up before
I
the
don't know
show's
what's
over.
going on over there in the Bay Area, but he is
Daniel
off to
Susak out there saving Tony Vitello's job.
Hot start for that
because
young man.
without Daniel Susak, Tony Vitello and the Giants might be like 2-10 at this point instead of 5-8 or whatever they are. We'll get to Mr. Daniel Susak, who is just off to a brilliant start to his major league career. Coming up, DK on the Sports Tip, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Talking a lot of baseball today, talking a lot of NASCAR because we've got big NASCAR weekend here in Southern Arizona. We've also got the Sugar Skulls back in action. They're playing football. We'll talk to the head coach of the Sugar Skulls coming up next. Rayshawn Kaiser out of Euclid High School. I told y'all Cleveland folks are running things. Euclid High School, suburban Cleveland. Rayshawn Kaiser coming up next. Cricket first, though, with your traffic and weather every 20 minutes on the 10.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Earlier collision reported at Swan and Speedway. Still some slowing at the intersection, Speedway and Swan. Collision Los Reales near Mission, west of Mission on Los Reales. And some busy travel, some slowing on Broadway at Swan. 62 the overnight low, partly cloudy, 90 tomorrow and 91 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's new Biggie Deals. Choose one of Wendy's new Biggie Deals. At $4, $6, and $8, pick one of the new Biggie Deals you're craving. For a pretty biggie deal, gotta be Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary.
It's DK on the Sports Tip. Did you hear what we were talking about? The kids who actually have the money to go out there and play tennis. Why haven't we produced any of them? DK on the Sports Tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care and a community of grateful Wildcat fans as we say thank you and congratulations to Coach Lloyd and our Arizona Wildcats on a record 36 wins, Big 12 championship, and a trip to the Final Four. Thank you for another great year. For nearly 6 decades, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care has been an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. We've seen a long history of Wildcat teamwork and excellence. And we know Arizona drivers are counting on that same kind of service for their car's next championship drive to work, school, or back home again. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care will be there with affordable tires and award-winning service at 14 area locations. This month, we've got an entire page of online savings for Wildcat fans. Check out jackfurriers.com/bear down and save up to $140 on the tire brands you love, like Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Uniroyal, and even more championship savings on automotive service. Stop by, call ahead, or make an appointment online. We're ready to help. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Hey, that was our exit. We're going to miss the first pitch.
Just got to make a stop at Fry's. I promised I'd bring nachos.
Nice. You have the Upside app too, right?
Upside? What's that?
Upside is a free app that gets you cash back when you buy groceries. And they just added Fry's stores in the Tucson Sierra Vista area.
Wait, I can get money back just for buying groceries?
Yep. And right now you can get an extra $10 bonus on your first Fry's trip with the app. That's up to $25 cash back on one grocery run.
Even this Fry's store right here?
Yes. Now pull over. Let's get some cash back on those nachos.
Upside is now available for Fry's stores in the Tucson Sierra Vista area. Download the free Upside app and use promo code AZ3 to get a $10 bonus on your first purchase at Fry's. That's promo code AZ3 to get a $10 bonus. Remember, use promo code AZ3.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Softball and baseball season has arrived in Tucson, and tickets are on sale now. From the greatest setting in softball at Hillenbrand Stadium to the dingers into the Tucson Sunset at High Corbett, you won't want to miss any of the action this season. Tell a friend, bring the kids, and spend your evenings at the yard, as the Wildcats are sure to put on a show. Get your tickets now by calling 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/tickets. Bear down.
You know it, your neighbors know it, and let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be, but thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was, and even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Hey, it's David Kelly, DK on the Sports Tip. Don't forget to download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. It slaps. We've got full coverage of the Wildcats, the Suns, the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, Pima College. Download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app today.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. One of the greatest to ever play the game is headed to Springfield. The 2026 Basketball Hall of Fame class has been revealed, and Candace Parker is among its most celebrated inductees. Parker's resume speaks for itself. 2 NCAA championships at Tennessee, 2 Olympic gold medals, 3 WNBA titles on 3 different teams, and she remains the only player in league history to win both Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season. Simply put, there was nothing she couldn't do on a basketball court.
I just have been a girl that has loved the game of basketball, and I'm super grateful for what this orange basketball has done for me, for my family, for my life. All the relationships I have are as a result of the game, and so I'm just glad I got to play for a living.
Parker will be enshrined alongside fellow inductees Elena Deladon, Shamika Holtzclaw, and the 1996 U.S. Women's National Team. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Maggie Gray on Westwood One.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with a Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by.
Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, Sugar Skulls football has started their season 1-1. Lost their home opener to Vegas, the defending champions. Went on the road to New Mexico, back in the league again. They were in the league, then they were not in the league. Now they're back in the league and beat them on the road in a close game last weekend. Now back home again against the San Diego Strike Force. Coming up Saturday night at Tucson Arena. Let's talk to the new head coach of the Tucson Sugar Skulls. He's been around, though. He's been the defensive coordinator for the last few years. Rayshawn Kaiser joins us on the show. Rayshawn, always great to talk to another fellow Clevelander. I've been joking because it seems like you're like the fourth person from Cleveland that we've talked to in the last week. We talked to the voice of the Michigan basketball team. He was from Cleveland. We talked to one of the higher-ups from the Indiana Sports Corps. We were at the Final Four last week. He was from Cleveland. I'm from Cleveland. I run this show. You're from Cleveland. You're running the Sugar Skulls. I'm like, folks from Cleveland just run stuff.
Well, I mean, we hate the cold, so we run to the heat.
There you go. Rayshawn, first year as a head coach for you here in Tucson. What's this experience been like for you to take over this club?
It's been busy. It's been extremely busy. Obviously, me and Edmund, we kind of been tied to the hip, trying to do a 360 to this organization and run this like an NFL-style program here. Obviously, we tried to revamp everything here. Anything that Edmund always say, anything he can get his hands on, he was trying to revamp and upgrade it. So we've been doing that, and I know the guys, they've been happy with the turnaround.
You know, you mentioned Edmund, and that's Edmund Marquez, who kind of took over running this club over the summer, really over the fall last year with the sale of the club. But you obviously have worked now for both regimes. What was the major difference? What was the major things you guys wanted to change about this? You mentioned making it more of an NFL operation. What does that mean at this level with indoor football?
Well, we feel like the IFL is the top league next to the NFL and the UFL in the States. So we're the third best league. So we're going to get some really good talent here, especially guys that want to continue their football career. So we want to make sure we give them a good experience when they come to Tucson. I think Tucson's a beautiful city, a beautiful place, beautiful organization. And we just want to make sure that, we give these guys something to remember Tucson about. That's the biggest thing. Make sure they have a good memory here. Make sure they have a good experience, and make sure they have everything they need to be successful on and off the field.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that's kind of been up and down. This franchise, things kind of started off good. They made the playoffs a few times early on. Last few years have not been, what we want it to be in terms of the product on the field now. With you leading it, what are some of the initial things that you wanted to do? Obviously, we've seen the last couple of years, you got to have a quarterback in this league. So how did you go about addressing that piece so that this team can be competitive?
Well, this offseason, I did try to talk to a couple of veteran quarterbacks. They chose different teams, which was fine. And then a lot of other quarterbacks that have been in our league, they just didn't produce enough. So I found some guys that I was really comfortable with. Draylon Ellis has been great for us. He is a rookie. I don't like starting many rookies, but I feel like out of the one rookie, Draylon Ellis is a really good one. He's a competitor. He won a championship in college. He's a 5-year starter. Threw for over 10,000 career yards at Tennessee State and Austin Peay combined. So he has all the intangibles to be great. And like I say, he's still learning the game. But I feel like by mid-season, everything's going to be clicking with him, and he's going to be a really, really good quarterback in this league.
We're chatting with Rayshawn Kaiser. He is the head coach of your Tucson Sugar Skulls and San Diego Strike Force, Saturday night, 7 o'clock at Tucson Arena. Second home game of the year, third game of the season. Okay, so assess these first two games. You guys obviously got beat up a little bit by the champs, and then, again, that's a really good outfit that they've got over there. You go on the road, though, New Mexico, new team again this year. What did you like most about the way the team bounced back to get the win this past Saturday?
We were just more focused. I feel like a lot of guys, no disrespect to Vegas, good team. They have some good players over there. We beat ourselves. We gave up 18 points just off special teams, and I think we lost by 21. So we beat ourselves. We didn't put ourselves in a lot of good positions to win that game. They had good position from kick returning all night on us, which had short field for the defense. So very hard to get stops when they have a short field. And we put our offense in bad situations a lot. So it was just some first game hiccups. Obviously, in the IFL, there's no preseason game. So we just never know we're going to get that first game. And obviously, Vegas, they took advantage of our mistakes, and they was able to capitalize on the win. Second game, we had a game under our belt, and traveled to the road. The guys was focused all week. They had a good week of practice, locked in, attention to detail. Obviously, we addressed our special teams issues in practice, and we got better with that in game two. And we just jumped on New Mexico fast. We just wanted to start fast, let everybody know around the league that that was not a representation of the Tucson Sugar Skulls, and we wanted everybody to know that we are for real. We wanted everybody to know that we're a team to look out for.
You mentioned, obviously, Draylon Ellis is your quarterback. You've got Casey Idle kind of backing him up. Kind of a new group of receivers this year that are in here. You got some young receivers, too, as well. Demisio Ewing and Javion Lofton are both first-year guys, along with Jaron Waters, a first-year guy as well. What have been some of those growing pains with having a rookie quarterback and three rookie wide receivers to go along with him?
Well, I want to call all those guys rookie receivers. Demisio Ewing, he's been in arena football for about 5 or 6 years now.
Okay.
So he's just been in the lower league, so brought him up. Lofton, he played for San Diego Strike Force last year. So he's accustomed to the game. Gerard Waters, he played for the TAL last year, so he got some arena experience. But this is the first time these guys actually played with us, Tucson Sugar Skulls. So my biggest thing, if we're going to have a young quarterback, I want to get some veteran receivers. That's why we got, Tamarion Terry, Brian Smith, Journey Sloan. We got those guys kind of helping our young quarterback out. We just got to get some good playmakers around our quarterback to take some pressure off of him.
You got our guy, Al Alexander, over there working with you, longtime football man here in Southern Arizona. What's Al brought to your staff?
Coach Al been great. Obviously, he's a head coach at a high school out here. And, anytime you have head coaches on your staff, I feel like it makes coaching easy because you don't have to micromanage them. They kind of know what they're doing with their group. And he's been great with the offensive line. And I feel like he has a really good group, and he's just continuing to work better, get those guys better each day and each practice, and we're lucky to have him out here.
So as the head coach, Rayshawn, what other duty – obviously you coach the team. What other duties do you have? You mentioned you're working very closely with Edmond. Do you have other ancillary duties in terms of front office? Are you the primary person in terms of maybe general managing and acquiring all of the talent? Is that as another hat that you wear? What all do you do as the head coach?
Oh, man, I do everything. I do all the football operations side of things over here. I recruit the players. I'm also the defensive coordinator as well, also the head coach. And I work with our food trade partners as well. So I do a lot of stuff over here in Tucson. And so my day-to-day is always busy. It's not a lot of free time for me. But, everything's slowing down now. I like in season because now I can focus on football. Off season, we focus on kind of the business side of things and, building our brand. But during the season, it's all football and just finding the right guys to, represent our team.
How would you kind of categorize your defensive philosophy in the indoor game?
Physical, fast, smart, good football IQ guys. I feel like you got to have a good football IQ to play in my defense, and you got to be physical. We want everybody to know that when you play Tucson, it's not going to be an easy game. You're going to have to work for every yard you get, every touchdown you get. And we just want to be mean and hungry. That's why I like a lot of young guys coming over here because they're normally hungry, and I can teach them the game, but just got to have a good football IQ as well.
Rayshawn Kaiser is our guest. He is the head coach of your Tucson Sugar Skulls. It is the Sugar Skulls and the San Diego Strike Force coming up Saturday night at the arena. Indoor football, always exciting. A lot going on in terms of fan engagement and whatnot. Rayshawn, I mentioned at the top, you grew up in we grew up in the same hometown, Cleveland, Ohio. Who was your favorite Brown growing up?
You might remember this, but I used to like Eric Metcalf.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up watching him a lot. I played receiver, DB. He was a receiver. And I just wanted to be him. I wore number 21 in the Little League and just wanted to be kind of like him. So always the first player to come in my mind when we talk about Browns. I'm in the old school.
That's a great one. I mean, a great one to have as a guy. You were in high school around the time the team was gone, if I'm not correct. Correct? You late 90s?
Yeah, I won't know high school. I was probably in high school in the 2000s. I don't know
early
when
2000s. Okay, so right after they came back.
Yes.
What was that like to be in high school during that time when the team was coming back after the hiatus that took them away to Baltimore?
I just know everybody, the city of Cleveland and the fans was happy to get our team back in Cleveland. I know we was kind of pissed off when they went to Baltimore. So we was happy to get our team back. You know, Cleveland's a sports town. There's not too much to do there, but we do have sports there. And, you know, we love our Brown. We love our football team. We love our basketball team. So we definitely love our football team. So you can't take football out of Cleveland. So we're happy they brought them back.
Now, did you get a chance to play for the legendary Coach Bank, or had he retired right before you got there? I think around that time.
He retired. It was like literally right before I got to varsity. I think that was his last season when I was a freshman, and he retired after that.
Outstanding. All right, it is Sugar Skulls football coming up on Saturday. Head on out. Great time. Football indoors, air conditioned, and San Diego in town for a exciting night. Game 3 of this young season. Rayshawn, looking for some exciting things as we move through the summer. We'll have you on again.
Yeah, sounds good. I appreciate y'all for inviting me on. And like I said, we're looking to get a win on Saturday. Obviously, we got to get a win for our home crowd. That's the goal. And looking for an exciting game. So the guys are ready, and they're looking forward to rebound from the first home game to get our fans a win at home this week.
There we go. Rayshawn Kaiser. Rayshawn, appreciate you.
All right, thank you so much.
Rayshawn Kaiser, head coach of your Tucson Sugar Skulls. Again, back at it at home against the San Diego Strike Force. In fact, they've got 2 games coming up. Back-to-back weeks, they'll be home against San Diego, and then New Mexico, the team they played last weekend on the road, comes in this month. And then the first home game in May will be May 2nd against San Antonio. Then they'll play their first game against the Rattlers that following Sunday, May 10th, up in the Valley. So plenty of opportunities to get out and see your Tucson Sugar Skulls this season. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We have one more segment left to go. We'll get you your Casino del Sol replay. We'll update you on what's happening with the Diamondbacks in New York, as well as a little bit more. Daniel Suzak continuing to tear up baseball. The Arizona Wildcat in just his first 2 weeks in the big leagues. Cricket is tearing up your traffic and your weather every 20 minutes on the Fives.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. With collisions reported at Irvington and Benson Highway in Irvington. Crash clearing Los Reales near Mission on Los Reales to the west of Mission. Earlier crash at Speedway in Swan. Still some southbound slowing on Swan at Speedway. The 62, the overnight low, partly cloudy, 90 tomorrow, 91 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
With Bet365 early payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. The only thing better than grabbing a Blizzard treat on a warm, sunny day would be snagging a second one for just 99 cents with the Blizzard Double Flip deal. It's buy one Blizzard treat, get another one for just 99 cents when you order in the DQ app. DQ. Happy tastes good. For limited time at participating U.S. locations.
Don't miss out on any of the action.
7-7 bottom of the ninth. Wildcats would love to end it right here.
As the University of Arizona takes on the Big 12 Conference.
2-2, and it's lined to left for a base hit. Bryfogel's going to be waved around third. Here comes the throw from Hartman. It's headed home. He slides. He's safe, and the Wildcats have won it. Mekalakis, RBI single.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats Athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CHEAP25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CHEAP25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code CHEAP25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put members' success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
Stay connected while you're on the go with the Wildcat Radio 1290 app. Listen to Arizona Wildcats play-by-play. Get the latest news on your teams and more, all in one place. Download Wildcats Radio 1290 app from the App Store or Google Play today. Wildcats Radio 1290 app is sponsored by Goodfellas Air Conditioning and Plumbing.
All drains lead to the ocean. But when your drain is clogged, the ocean comes to you. Call Goodfellas AC and Plumbing using Permaliner to fix pipes and drains without digging up the yard. Good service, good prices. GoodfellasAC.com.
Hey, that was our exit. We're going to miss the first pitch.
Just got to make a stop at Fry's. I promised I'd bring nachos.
Nice. You have the Upside app too, right?
Upside? What's that?
Upside is a free app that gets you cash back when you buy groceries. And they just added Fry's stores in the Tucson Sierra Vista area.
Wait, I can get money back just for buying groceries?
Yep. And right now you can get an extra $10 bonus on your first Fry's trip with the app. That's up to $25 cash back on one grocery run.
Even this Fry's store right here?
Yes. Now pull over. Let's get some cash back on those nachos.
Upside is now available for Fry stores in the Tucson Sierra Vista area. Download the free Upside app and use promo code AZ3 to get a $10 bonus on your first purchase at Fry's. That's promo code AZ3 to get a $10 bonus. Remember, use promo code AZ3.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Everyone loves to get together for food, fun, and sports. But what's the best spot? I'm Josh Bishop, owner of Fork and Fire, Catalina, and Oro Valley. My brother, best friend, and I have been cooking for one another and for our neighbors for years, and we get to live our passion every day at Fork and Fire. At our Catalina Grill, you'll love the elevated bar fare and barbecue, served in our relaxed and fun neighborhood grill. Fork and Fire Catalina, where great food meets good times and a strong community. Bring everyone on down to Fork and Fire in Catalina and Oro Valley.
This
is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
It was big news when Lamar Jackson showed up for the Ravens offseason program. Both players and coaches mentioned to the media they noticed a more focused and different Lamar Jackson working out this week. Concerns over the amount of attention Jackson has given the team during the offseason has been in question over the last couple years. A new attitude? Well, that's a big deal in Baltimore. I'm Chris Black.
Hey, it's Tyler Reddick
and Bubba Wallace from 2311 Racing.
On the track, every second counts.
And off the track, the same rules apply. Just fewer pit stops.
That's why we're spinning into Chumba Casino.
From social live casino to slot masters, the action's fast, fun, and totally free.
Rack up points, climb the leaderboard, and take home bragging rights.
Play anytime, anywhere. No downloads needed.
Join the race at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21, present in the state where it's legal to play.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Arizona Wildcats catcher Daniel Susac continues to put his stamp on his early big league career.
3-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a base hit to right field. Come on. He is now 5 for 5. 2-2 pitch. There's a drive down the right field line, slicing, and it's in there. Fair ball, and it bounces off the netting and the sidewall. Goes into the corner. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. And Susac has a triple.
Well, he hasn't played a lot of games. Hasn't only started 2. But how about 3 for 3 and 3 for 4 in his first 2 big league starts for Daniel Susac? He's 6 for 7 with a run scored, a triple, 2 RBIs, and a walk, hitting .857 to start his big league
850,
career.
is that good, Dragon Ball? Is that a good average,
yeah.
you think? Yeah.
That'll go ahead and get you a couple of attention-seeking interviews after the game.
Man, that gets you a few Gatorade baths, too, as well. Yeah, I mean, it's been and they, ironically, they have won both those games that he has started. They beat the Mets 7-2 in his first start. They beat the Phillies 6-0 in his next start, so that was Tuesday night that he went 3 for 4 and had the 2-run triple. Did Daniel Susac? Let's hear from Daniel on staying hot, red hot.
When I found out I was going to start today, I found out yesterday. And it was kind of just, we're facing Sanchez, so I talked to our hitting coaches of, how I think he's going to approach me and how I should go about my work. Just putting in a lot of reps, and then when he gets out in the game, you can slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, how are you staying sharp? I mean, it's tough. I don't think people realize when you're not playing every day how you keep your rhythm. You played, 5 days ago, and obviously had a nice, first start of your career. Got some firsts out of the way. But 5 days later, you get a hit again. So what are you doing in between starts now to keep yourself sharp?
I think the biggest thing for me this whole offseason and now, applying it to the season is just consistency. Just doing the same thing every day. It gets monotonous, but, that's what you got to do because then you can base how you feel off, how you do it every day. Catching every bullpen I can to stay sharp, see that velo, and then just keeping the same hitting approach every day.
Yeah, he's only played in 4 of the 12 games that now 13 because they played last night, that the Giants have played so far this season. But, I mean, just incredible that he is able to, again, stay consistent and stay with an approach. And what I loved was that the game the other night, he's going the other way. He went the other way with both those hits that he got.
I think his first single was opposite.
Yeah. I mean, that's not – and a catcher, too, going the other way and getting triples? I mean, now, of course, it's San Francisco's ballpark, so you can get triples there. That is not something that you cannot do in that particular ballpark. But still, a catcher getting triples in any ballpark is pretty impressive. Now, you'll remember he was drafted by the A's, but the Giants plucked him as a Rule 5. That's that Rule 5 draft they have at the winter meetings. But if you take a guy in the Rule 5 Major League round, he has to stay on the roster, or you have to give him back to the other team. So that's, again, it's never an easy situation to be in for guys that are in that Rule 5 situation.
Add it to the list of dumb Major League Baseball rules.
There's a lot of those, sadly.
Yeah, there's a few. There's a few for sure. So right now, again, Daniel Susac not starting every single game for the San Francisco Giants, splitting that time. And Tony Vitello is the new manager of this club. He talked about just kind of the role that Daniel has. Patrick Bailey, who's also another very good young catcher who's got a couple of years on Daniel Susac and is quote unquote the full-time starter for this team right now. Let's hear from Tony Vitello just on the dynamics of his catching situation.
At this point, Tony, why not just play Susac every day?
No, I think he's obviously earned the right to, I think prior to today, he's earned the right to be out there for us more often and be good for both those guys. I think they've got a good friendship and also a good working relationship. And at that position, my only experience up to date, which you probably don't want to hear about because it's a different schedule, but it's a lot less games, has always been two guys. In recruiting, it's always been used two guys because at the end of the season, whoever it is you lean on the most, if you don't go matchups with a pitcher, either your own or the opposing pitcher, your other guy's going to be more fresh. It's not an easy thing to go out there all the time. So we'll worry about tomorrow when this whole deal's in here is over with, and then you'll be seeing plenty of both guys as the season goes on. But a fair question.
Yeah, fair question indeed. Again,
then why did he maniacally laugh when the question was asked? That's my question.
I think because he realizes that I'm gonna get a lot more of these questions.
When a dude starts his career 7 out of 8 with a walk, you're gonna be asked why he's not starting.
Yeah, and Patrick Bailey, as you mentioned in the break there, J-Dub, not having a great start to his season offensively.
Yeah, 5 out of 34 in 11 games.
So we'll see how that plays out. Tony Vitello in his first season as the manager dealing with a lot as the Giants try to make their way back into the mix. They've won a couple of games in a row, though, so they are right behind that pack of 6-6 teams we talked about that includes the Arizona Diamondbacks. All right, let's get you your Casino del Sol replay for today.
The Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol.
I did not know anything.
Award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
Mason Massey drives the number 19 Chevy in the ARCA Menards West Series under Bill McNally Racing. He's going to be here this weekend, and I asked him for the ARCA Menards West Series race, I asked him what he knew about Tucson Speedway.
I did not know anything about it until about 2 weeks ago. I started watching the race from last year, and, man, from what I've seen, it looks incredible. I've always liked old asphalt, and I've always liked the tracks to wear tires out, and it's almost a cat and mouse game. You have to save your stuff, and you see guys that take off early. About halfway through the race, they start falling back. So you don't really want to be that guy. You really have to focus on saving your brakes and your tires, and you never know when a caution is going to come out. So it's a lot that goes into it. It reminds me of, maybe like a New Hampshire or like a Richmond with the old asphalt like that. So from what I've seen, it looks awesome, and I like I like how the third group has more banking than the bottom, so it kind of gives you options.
Today's Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
ARCA Menards West back in Tucson this weekend. Again, doors will open at 5 o'clock on Saturday night out at the Speedway. And the racing begins at 7. Thunder trucks will be happening. Mini stocks will also be on the oval. So it's not just the big boys. There's a lot of great local racing that'll be happening as well. Please get out and support our local racers because they do one heck of a job and they work extremely hard. I've been in some of the garages here around town where they work on their cars all the time. It's like if they crash the cars, they're the ones that got to fix those cars. And so there's a lot of work that goes in to trying to have a car up and ready to go at one of these local NASCAR races every couple of Saturday nights out at the Speedway. So please do get out there and support our local racers. For sure. And it was great. We had a chance to talk to Mark Kirtle a little bit earlier in the show, and it's great to hear that Alex Bowman is going to be back driving. He's been dealing with vertigo. Have you ever had vertigo?
I've never had vertigo. I just know that it's a situation where it will just randomly happen to you, and all of a sudden the world doesn't feel like it's sitting still.
No.
So I'm happy to hear that that's not necessarily a problem. But you never know; it can pop up at any point. So I'm hoping it doesn't, for the sake of the driver.
Yep, he's missed 4 races. Has Alex Bowman out of Tucson here, Ironwood Ridge High School, but he is cleared to return at Bristol Motor Speedway this weekend. So great to hear that he'll be back in the number 48 Ally Chevy this weekend. Alex Bowman back on the oval and back doing what he loves to do. He has been out since March the 1st, so a little over a month when he exited at the Circuit of Americas because of when those vertigo symptoms originally started happening. He was unable to race. That was the race, I believe, right before the race here in Phoenix. So he was unable to race. Anthony Alfredo replaced him in Phoenix. Justin Allgaier has driven the last 3 races in that number 48
I can't imagine what that's like.
No.
Because, vertigo alone, if you're just standing on a flat ground, is one thing.
Right.
But your job is to race around at speeds that we can't even fathom. And everything's a little wonky. Your inner ear, that's all inner ear stuff, right, with your balance. And I can't imagine that feeling when you spent your whole life. Because that fear, we talk about how early you get started, DK, and you got to get started as a 5, 6, 7-year-old because that fear of going fast and taking challenges and taking risks, if you pick that up when you're in your 20s, you're not going to be the same. So your whole life you've done that, and then all of a sudden, driving around, holding onto that wheel, and everything's moving a little bit funky. That's just such a weird, thing for vertigo to affect race drivers, air pilots, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And people always make the comment of like, well, NASCAR, it's just you're turning left a lot of times. Well, here's the thing. You try to make a left turn when you're going at about 120-something miles per hour. Some people have difficulties making left turns at 40 miles per hour. And I know it because we live in Tucson. We've seen drivers in Tucson, 40 mile per hour.
Well, they need those 45-degree banks, right?
Exactly.
That's what they need.
Exactly. But making even a minuscule, just leading left is the dangerous thing at 120.
All right, quick update. This was actually the final, the 2 pitchers that pitched in the final, I believe, in the World Baseball, because I believe Eduardo pitched for Venezuela in that game. It's a 1-0 game in the 7th in New York between the Diamondbacks and the Mets. Nolan McLean on the top of that right now. All right, thanks to Mark Crystal from Front Stretch for joining us. Mason Massey, Arca Menards, Rayshawn Kaiser, Sugar Skulls head coach. For Cricket, for Dragon Ball, for J-Dub, I'm David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. We'll talk to you tomorrow for 1 hour at 3 o'clock. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. Collisions at a reported 22nd Street near 4th, west of 4th Avenue on 22nd Street. Irvington and Benson Highway in Irvington, and Los Reales near Mission in the clearing. Los Reales west of Mission. Closure, Country Club Road closed under I-10 for road work. And that's your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
In Tucson, people believe in hard work and standing by their neighbors. At Cruz and Associates, we believe in doing the same for our clients. If a serious accident leaves you or your loved one injured, we're here to help. Call 520-567-8000. Cruz and Associates, a firm you know, help you can trust.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya, guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
Nobody covers your cats like we do.
Headed for the corner, he's in. Touchdown, Arizona. On the break, slide it home. Here comes the throw home. He slides, he's safe. The Cats are champions.
We are Wildcats Radio, 1290.
So hot. Hi, can I help you?
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Goodfellasac.com.
Hey, that was our exit. We're gonna miss the first pitch.
Just gotta make a stop at Fry's. I promised I'd bring nachos.
Nice. You have the Upside app too, right?
Upside? What's that?
Upside is a free app that gets you cash back when you buy groceries. And they just added Fry's stores in the Tucson Sierra Vista area.
Wait, I can get money back just for buying groceries?
Yep. And right now you can get an extra $10 bonus on your first Fry's trip with the app. That's up to $25 cash back on one grocery run.
Even this Fry's store right here?
Yes. Now pull over. Let's get some cash back on those nachos.
Upside is now available for Fry's stores in the Tucson Sierra Vista area. Download the free Upside app and use promo code AZ3 to get a $10 bonus on your first purchase at Fry's. That's promo code AZ3 to get a $10 bonus. Remember, use promo code AZ3.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Stay connected while you're on the go with the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. Listen to Arizona Wildcats play-by-play. Get the latest news on your teams and more, all in one place. Download Wildcats Radio 1290 app from the App Store or Google Play today. Wildcats Radio 1290 app is sponsored by Goodfellas Air Conditioning and Plumbing.
All drains lead to the ocean. But when your drain is clogged, the ocean comes to you. Call Goodfellas AC and Plumbing using Permaliner to fix pipes and drains without digging up the yard. Good service, good prices. GoodfellasAC.com.
Nobody covers your cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.